Peoria. Hear the coffee brewer, get the day started sooner with the friends that feel like home. Never feel like I'm alone. Breakfast with Roger and friends. Wazoo FM till the morning ends. Breakfast with Roger and friends on Wazoo FM.
Pretty good.
And a pleasant good morning, everybody. Welcome to Breakfast with Roger and Friends, and that includes Terry Chamberlain. Good morning, Terry. Good to see you this morning. And Michael Olson, well-known Peoria coach and teacher. I know you love coaching. Did you love teaching as well, Mike?
I really did. It was a very rewarding. No, I did, and I say proudly, I worked at it. In high school, a lot of people don't realize is that when you're even like the head football coach or the head basketball coach, 90% of your pay still comes from teaching. That you're either teaching PE or
the coaching is kind of secondary, isn't it?
You get a stipend for doing that. Mm-hmm. You know, a percent.
A bonus? You call it a stipend.
A stipend, or
it's kind of a signing bonus.
Yeah, but I mean, but if if somebody's making, say, $50,000 at teaching and coaching at a high school, at least $40,000 comes from your teaching.
Yeah, it's interesting because we have a grandson who is assistant coach at a university in Missouri.
Sure.
And the money he makes I shouldn't be talking about this, is pathetic. I said, instead of being an assistant coach at a college or university,
he could be head coach at a high school.
Yeah, why don't you go to the high school level? And I think they would be fun to coach versus some of the colleges.
And you don't have all that time recruiting.
Exactly.
I mean,
right.
I had aspirations of being a head baseball coach or a head hockey coach at the college level, but I never got the real opportunity. And then you get to the point where you're making. I think when I applied for an assistant job at even a Big Ten school one time, and it was like $17,500, and I was making like $45,000 at that time. And the AD finally says, "Hey," he said, "this ain't going to work, for you. You'll be." His exact words were, "You'll be divorced in a month." Go from take about a 67% pay cut, just so you can work probably 20 more hours a week.
and the other thing about I think, unlike coaching in college, as you can go up the ladder in the high school system and make some pretty good money.
Yeah.
But I don't want to take anything away from college coaching. But
it's
my
understanding.
Yeah.
Your chances of being we read about some of these football and basketball guys now making almost 10. I think this Saban was around 10 million.
Yeah.
And Izzo's around 10 million at Michigan State.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Yes, but
it's difficult to get there because the competition is so intense.
Like winning the lottery.
Yeah, if you get named for that.
And things have to just break so right. But no, you're 100% right. But the key, I think, to getting to go into the college ranks is you got to start early. Hopefully you're still single and you can
weather the storm. The financial challenges.
And then you're hoping that either some of the in other words, there's at least one assistant there that's making livable money.
Yeah. And you understand also, Bradley has lost a number of assistant basketball coaches because they're going through the process of advancing
right.
and maybe winding up as a
head
coach somewhere. Anyway, we have a great program. A couple of guests this morning include John Cross, our farm advisor down at Emden and Logan counties. We're going to talk about spraying the fields with pesticides and who does it and who shouldn't do it, and when you should do it and when you shouldn't do it. Yeah, and that's
the first time I saw that. The plane's going to crash.
Yeah, it was spooky.
It was scary the first time I saw it, and I haven't spent much time in the rural area, of where it goes on. And boy,
Now they're
I
using-
came across the high,
Oh, I know. The first
16.
time you see it, you think he's in trouble.
He's in trouble, yeah. Now when you see
Now
it,
you know that
at least
he's
it's-
almost acrobatic.
At least you hope it's that's what they're doing.
Yeah. So we'll talk to
dusting?
Crop dusting.
yeah. We'll talk to John and Andy Diaz, a new school board member.
Oh, that'd be good.
Will join us as well
Good.
a little later on in the program. In the meantime, let's do what we do: bring you the most comprehensive news right here in Peoria Radio, as we do each and every morning. And we'll start with a check of the weather brought to you as a service of Morton Community Banks. Over 50 branches offering a full range of personal and business banking services. Hometown banks, FDIC insured, so your deposits are safe. Look for the clock tower and you'll know they have time for you. Well, let's start with the flood warning, continuing with the Illinois River, reaching flood stage by 18.3 feet today. The river expected to rise to 19.38 feet by tomorrow afternoon and then starts receding below flood stage by late Sunday morning. Here's today's live weather forecast. Sunny and warm, a high of 86, tonight's low 67, tomorrow sunny and 88. Looking ahead to Thursday, partly sunny, but look for afternoon showers and thunder boomers. That will continue Thursday night. More showers and thunderstorms Friday afternoon, and right now our temperature at 66 degrees. Now the news. Teri Chamberlain, what do you have?
Well, millions of Americans and others around the world were glued to their TV sets last night watching the World Cup soccer game between the United States and Belgium. Well-known sports coach Mike Olson has the game results and details.
If I could just say that first of all, the U.S. lost 4-1 to Belgium. We're ranked 17th in the world. We're at the final 16, so this is not shocking that we got beat. I think the thing that was shocking about it was the fact that we thought it was set up pretty well for us to do well.
Maybe
Obviously, you're on
advance,
your
yeah.
home soil.
Yeah.
And I compare it to hockey, which I'm a little bit more familiar with. We've won the Olympics twice. Only twice in all these years, won gold medal in hockey, men's ice hockey, and take it back, it's 3 times now. 3 times. We won in '60 in Squaw Valley, we won in '80 in Lake Placid, that was the Miracle on Ice, and then we won this past year. So 3 times, but they were all basically, that was in North America this past year, and we had a lot of success. So. It's not easy. You're playing the best in the world, and soccer in the United States, like hockey, has really just been, since about those '60s.
Yes. Just in recent years.
You can remember even around Peoria here, a guy by the name of Basso, Joe. I think his first name was Joe Basso, if I'm not mistaken. And
You got me on that one, pal.
Yeah, I remember when we moved.
Well,
here.
who was the soccer coach at Bradley for many years?
Oh, he did a great job.
He did a great job. He put Bradley on the map when it came to
he did. They were
soccer in the Missouri Valley.
Valley, right.
And didn't we name the field off of Nebraska where they played soccer after him?
I don't believe they've gone that far yet, but I mean that could be coming. I think they just still call it the.
Well, that's.
I thought it was Shea, isn't it Shea?
That's Tim Shea, yeah,
it's
realtor.
Realtor,
Yeah.
right? He donated the money to kind of
For
convert
the soccer field.
to convert that from the original
minor
Park
field,
District field and then minor league field and then.
It's had a number of names that had Vanaken Field.
Yeah.
And then what was the guys?
Minen Field.
Minen
Minen Field was
at
the first.
Vanaken Stadium.
Yeah,
Yeah, Dutch Minen.
Dutch Minen. He was the groundskeeper, I think.
Well, he was on the faculty
Was
in
he?
the sports department. Yeah,
right. But he
That's
worked
right.
hard on the field, is what people.
Well, now, you may be thinking of Jameson, who did a lot of the maintenance in the field house.
Okay. A little before my time.
Yes,
on
it
that.
was,
Right,
yeah.
good. I remember that. When it was.
So did I, but they didn't name anything after me. Maybe a bleacher at the top of the field house.
Anyway, a young man by the name of Tillman scored our only goal. We were kind of fighting our way back in. Well, we scored to tie it, and then I've always said this about in hockey too. You got to really be careful after you score. I think there's some euphoria when you score. You see the running around after they score, and I think the focus is lost a little bit sometime of what you're really trying and supposed to do, and you think you're in good shape. And within 2 minutes after we scored, they went ahead 2-1.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Okay, and I think that hurt psychologically. But the one that really hurt was our goalie came out and tried to play a ball.
I saw that.
And he left his net. And the same thing in hockey. Stay in your net. Stay in your net.
Yeah.
You can't give them an open net. And
yeah, he gave him an open shot.
Open net, and they go up 3-1.
And it was over.
And I could see it on the face of a number of our players, how disappointed they were, because they knew the chances of them getting to 3 were probably not very good.
And
I mean, they only had one up, with 3, almost 2/3 of the
right.
game, and then of course we pressed and had a couple chances at 3-1 even, but it was just too big of a gap in my opinion.
No, you're right.
Like you say, the goaltender made a big mistake, and I know that was some of the concern early. He did play at Harvard. But once again, you need these guys that are playing world-class soccer from year to year. So when you put
you have the background for it,
your World Cup team together, like the Olympics, only every 4 years. Now we got to wait 4 years for this to happen again. And of course, some guys age out, and a couple young, hopefully Bucks work their way up. But
well, we'll get more details from Mike Olson coming up. Unfortunately, the contest became controversial because President Trump appealed to the president of the International Federation of Association Football for a review of the suspension of Team USA's top player. The review was held and the star striker was reinstated for last night's key match.
The decision angered Trump haters who, instead of cheering the reinstatement of soccer star Florian Balogun,
you did well on that. We talked about that prior. Balogun. I think Balogun's pretty close.
Thank you.
No, I really do. That's what the announcers were saying, pretty close.
Anyway, they turned against the USA team and the president. They preferred criticism of Trump rather than acknowledge the bad decision made by Brazilian referee Rafael Claus. Claus was investigated in his home country regarding match fixing and betting accusations.
I wonder, is he still officiating in the World Cup? It'd be interesting to know whether or
I think
not
they're getting down to the point where they don't need that many as they get down to 8.
Narrowing the teams down. President Trump was cheered at the White House as he rang the opening bell for the New York Stock Exchange yesterday morning during a special Oval Office ceremony celebrating the national rollout of what is known as the Trump accounts. What's it all about, Terry?
The new savings program provides a $1,000 government deposit for children born between January 1st, 2025 and December 31st, 2028. The money is immediately invested into an index fund. Parents, guardians, and relatives can contribute up to $5,000 per year. The account is held entirely in the child's name, with the parent or legal guardian serving as the sole custodian until the child reaches age 18, and that's when the funds can be withdrawn. The interest rate each year could range between 6 and 10%.
Bad news for Maine Senate Democrat nominee Graham Plattner. A woman has accused Plattner of rape after he entered her home. The details she outlined of the attack has caused many of his supporters of fleeing like mice on the Titanic. Among those who called for Plattner to drop out of the race against Republican Susan Collins, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, and California Representative Ro Khanna.
Sunny Hostin, who sits on the ABC program The View, said yesterday she feels unsafe and uncomfortable when she enters a neighborhood where families are flying the American flag. Really?
Yeah.
You may recall the controversial Democrat was a guest at this year's Martin Luther King luncheon at the Civic Center. She typically receives between $50,000 to $100,000 for appearances and earns around $2 million a year from ABC for attacking President Trump and Republicans.
Not a good person, not a good person at all. The July 4th weekend brought violence to Raleigh, North Carolina, thanks to rioting by up to 10,000 teenagers. 5,000 teens took over Briar Creek, and another 5,000 ran rampant in Glenwood South, two different areas of the city of Raleigh. Up to 6 people wounded by gunfire. The mayor is considering imposing a curfew. Oh, what a harsh penalty that would be, Mr. Mayor.
That kind of seems like a no-brainer to me.
Yeah.
In local news, Peoria police have arrested 47-year-old Sammy Wright Jr., charging him with aggravated battery to a child. In this case, a 6-year-old who he was babysitting, along with a 3-year-old, thanks to a woman who notified officers of the possible child assault. The child was taken to a local hospital where an examination revealed numerous injuries leading to Wright's arrest. A judge has ordered Wright to remain behind bars until his trial.
East Peoria officials joined Pekin in saying no to data centers. Mayor John Call said there will be no data center or a solar farm on land the city recently purchased at a cost of $5.2 million. The plot of land once owned by the Kyle Bly family, that happens to be two of my best friends, as a matter of fact, who have since passed away, is near a property owned by Illinois Central College on the south side of Route 24. The mayor apparently responding to fears and rumors of a possible data center.
The Peoria Journal is reporting District 150 has hired Shamara Hill as the new Peoria High School girls basketball coach. She graduated from Central in 2012 and replaces Michi Edwards, who did the coaching at the high school for 28 seasons, starting with the boys' team for 9 years.
Did we steal your thunder on that by any chance?
Pardon me?
Did we steal your thunder? Did you have that story about the coaching change at Peoria High?
No.
Okay,
no,
good.
No.
All right. I was afraid that you might have had it. Anyway, that's a look at the stories we're following, and let's get into it. Here's Mike Olson with more details about our 4-1 loss.
Yeah, like I said, we're going into the tournament. We were ranked 17th by one of the bigger, rankings of world soccer teams, and we got to the round of 16. So and we played Belgium, who I think was ranked either 8th or 9th in the world.
Well, actually, according to Dr. Sidler, I think Friday said with the reinstatement, they went from a flip of the coin as to who would win to a slight edge for the USA. That proved to be wrong.
Right, and I think one of the biggest things that was it was played on our soil in Seattle with about 80,000. That place was packed, and they said
packed, wasn't it? Yeah.
And they said about $2,000 a ticket.
Oh, you're kidding.
I mean, soccer has really made big strides in our country, and we're doing well. I mean, we got a lot of these players are playing over in the best European leagues now, just like a lot of the best players in Russia and Sweden and Finland come over here and play in our National Hockey League, because that's considered the best league in the world.
Yeah.
And
it just came to me.
Yeah.
Jim DeRosa
Jim DeRose, yeah.
Yeah.
Good guy, and he
was the soccer coach at Bradley.
And he came here as a pretty young coach, and
made a name for himself and made a name for Bradley soccer.
His family, I think his son ended up playing college hockey, and I think or college soccer, and then is playing coaching somewhere, and his daughter is also, I think, like at Northwestern. So
So he's still in Peoria?
He's still in Peoria.
Good for
right?
him.
He's serving on a number of committees, including
the
Greater Peoria Sports Hall of Fame.
Is he on the board?
Yes.
And he was inducted, was he not?
I believe he was.
Into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he's a
good guy.
Good man. Yep. And anyway, we did score, and it was 1-1, and then all of a sudden they get a goal right after we had scored to make it 1-1, and we go down 2-1. We're still in the game, and then unfortunately our goaltender makes a grave mistake, in my opinion, and I think in most people's opinion, because he not only left the crease area, he was actually outside the box. Yeah, which to me is there's no way he can recover from there.
Yeah.
If we lose the ball, they're basically shooting in a big area, and I can only relate it to hockey again. When you can't play hockey without a goalie, you can't play soccer without a goalie either. It's just too big of a net. It's not a basket like in basketball. I mean, guys miss layups in basketball. That shot that was made last night to make it 3-1 and basically
Ended the game.
ended the game for us.
You're right.
And for all practical purposes. Were we going to get to 3? Probably not, and obviously didn't. And then, of course, they put the dagger in when they scored.
Yeah.
late.
Who does Belgium play next? Do you know?
I believe it's Spain.
That will be a tough.
That's tough,
game
and
for them, yeah.
that's what I was listening to some of the on the national network coming in on, and that's what they said. You know, it would have been nice to get to that round of 8 quarterfinals.
But
with a win
that was expecting too much.
And then, but to get to the next level and play Spain would have even been tougher. And that's what I'm saying. The draw was in our favor. I mean, Belgium, like you said, by the time the game started, it was probably even money. But I think the only thing I worry about that a little bit, Roger, is that encouraged the U.S. people that were already. I mean, you're biased. We're biased. There's no and or buts about it. So do you bet with the team that was ranked ahead of us going in, or the team that's now people think it has a chance to win this game? And because we like some people said, we didn't play real well either. Obviously, the defense made several mistakes that were costly too. So it was probably the weakest game we played in the tournament. But then I say also, as a coach, was part of it because we played the best team so far that we played in the tournament.
I think that's more like
that
it.
creates another problem. We really didn't.
Overall, I think the USA team did okay.
Did okay.
Yeah.
That's I think you can almost say they represented well, and the whole tournament and the country hosting has really represented well from what all the people that are involved in it say. So.
Well, what else do you have there, Coach?
Right, we got Major League Baseball last night. The Cardinals made a bid to win it late, but the Brewers hung on and won 4-3. So the Brewers are still ahead of the Cubs by about 6 games in the National League Central. Tonight, the Brewers will be at the Cardinals again at 1:15. I believe it's a doubleheader too, making up a game.
It is a doubleheader.
So they'll play
at noon
what I call a
today,
day-night doubleheader. Mm-hmm. You're not getting a twofer.
Used to be.
They
played one game after another years ago. Now they clean the stadium out.
They clean it out. They play a 12 o'clock game and
ring the cash register.
And they re-ring it big. The Cubs will be at the Orioles tonight at 5:35. That's an early start out east. 6:35 their time. And the Boston Red Sox will be in Chicago to play the White Sox at 6:40. White Sox are leading the American League Central. They're and if you remember last year, they started out like they were like 10-40 or something. I mean, they were.
Well, they have turned their team around.
They sure have.
Absolutely, one of the worst teams and now one of the best teams.
Yeah, they're
kudos to their management.
Kudos to their management is right, and I'm getting more like you every day, Roger. I'm not sure we got the right man at the helm at the Chicago Cubbies.
No, I think they need
We're
to get
paying
rid
a lot
of
of money, I know
Jed
that.
Hoyer, and he's made some terrible mistakes. Giving $8 million to Greg Console, who's the biggest guffaw. He doesn't know how to handle pitchers.
Well,
you know, he let this Peterson guy, I think his name is, he was 4-7 going into, and by the time he pulled him out of the game, he wound up with 10 runs. Do you know what that, and earned runs, you know what that does to your earned run average?
He'll never recover.
He'll never recover.
From
so
statistic-wise.
He ruined that guy's career.
Yeah, he didn't. He sure didn't help it, that's for sure. The other big tournament going on in the world is kind of taking a little back seat, I think, more than it normally does, because the Wimbledon, to me, is the epitome of the what do you call them? The big four in tennis, the majors, and played over in London, England, and on the grass, and we're having a little trouble over there too right now. Although Taylor Fritz from America did beat Alexander Bublik in straight sets, the most talked about match of the day saw Britain's wild card player Arthur Ferry. Now, what's a wild card player? They have to go through a tournament like the week or two
In order to qualify.
he's a qualifier, right? You're invited to play in the qualifying, and there's probably about 60 guys that do that. And my guess would maybe 4 or 5.
Did you ever play tennis yourself?
Just recreationally.
Okay.
Just recreationally, and it's a good conditioning game as far as moving around.
And because the key in sports and athletics is hand and eye coordination.
Right.
And that's
Yeah.
golf, that's tennis, that's bowling.
Bowling,
Yep.
and catching a baseball,
And
hitting a baseball.
hitting the baseball.
Oh my
yeah.
God! Especially when it's 100 miles an hour.
And in hockey as well.
Yeah, you got to be able
How
to
many times have you seen a hockey player with a wide open shot
you
screw it up?
miss the
Miss the
I
puck.
call it 4x6. It's 4 feet high by 6 feet wide. In
Yeah,
the,
that
in the
was-
soccer net, like we talked about, when you're not
Oh,
guarding,
that's like a city block.
that's pretty big. So, but and rightfully so, because they don't get that many shots, And,
You got it.
when they get their shots, they got to put them in. And credit Belgium for doing that last night. But anyway, that kid from Britain, he ended up beating that guy by the name of Grigor Dimitrov in 5 sets. So they were pretty happy about
Are
that.
you watching much of the Wimbledon
I watched a little bit because my wife watches almost all of it.
Yeah, she's
a
a
very big
tennis
fan,
buff?
especially the majors. And this is the major of the majors as far as I'm concerned when you play at Wimbledon.
You got it.
Today's matches see the number 1 ranked Sinner, his name is. Sinner will take on Struff.
Is he
and
from Spain?
You know what? I think you might be right on that. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'd just be guessing with that, but
He's the number 1
he's the number
rated
1
tennis
seed
player.
right now.
Yeah.
And,
He's either from Spain or Italy, I
yeah,
think.
those sound right to me. But anyway, Djokovic, who's always in the money anyway, if he's and has been in the top in the world for many years, he also will play today at Wimbledon. 2 American women lost yesterday. Madison Keys and she lost to Linda Noskova, and Ashley Kruger was defeated by Marta Kostyuk. Today, the 2 remaining American girls will play each other. That's Jessica Pegula and Coco Gauff. We'll see which American will move on. Go on. I'm still fighting. I want to call it an allergy, but I'm getting concerned that I've got a cough that's lingered for too long. As
Are
Royce
you
would say-
taking anything like Claritin?
No,
No, you might try
I
that.
try it.
What do you think?
I need to try
I
something.
start with
Doctor.
that allergy medicine.
Yeah.
It's
Because the pollen's bad.
It can't hurt.
No, it can't hurt. It's like, I've battled it for probably 2 months now, I think. Those 2 women will stay one of those 2 women will stay in contention, because obviously we'll have an American playing an American today, and then one of them will move on to, I think we're getting down to about the quarterfinals, if not into the semifinals. A lot of big crowds there too, but boy, these crowds at the soccer matches, and the people coming from overseas,
By
our
the
economies.
millions. Yeah.
I heard one
Been very big economic boom
it's
for
been
the United States.
very good boom, and they've taken most of them are playing in our American football stadiums, because they can hold the 75, 80,000.
That's one of the reasons the triumphant or trifecta of Mexico, Canada, the United States got the bid.
Yeah, they got big stadiums, and they're doing it's a FIFA. I think it's the Federation International Football Associations.
It's the International Federation of Association Football. This is the,
Pretty close,
I
right?
don't know where the other F came from, but we won't worry about it.
Probably football.
Yes.
Football. Yeah, that. See, that's the thing too. If 90, or I shouldn't 90, that's probably too high, but the majority of people in the United States, if you say football, they're not thinking about what's going on right now. They think of America,
Think of our football.
our football with the tackling and the helmets and all that. But around the world, it's different. It's the biggest sport in the world. And Roger and I were talking a little bit. we've made great strides in soccer in the United States since about the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
And rightfully so. I mean, we're talking 76 years since 1950. So I mean, that's at least almost 4 generations if you count 20 years as a generation.
You got it.
And but there's still a lot of competition for the best athletes. In other words, basketball gets the share of a lot of our best athletes. Football gets a big share. Baseball doesn't get as much as they used to, but they still get a decent share. And then you got hockey, which is getting more and more every now and then. Our American hockey is a lot better today than it was a generation ago.
A number of years ago. Okay, what else do you have?
That's it for sports on WAZU 90.7 FM in lovely Peoria, Illinois. And you can see us on the YouTube at care of Roger and Friends, LS.
You got it. And let's get into the news. And then coming up, our conversation with our farm advisor, John Cross in Emden, Illinois, so stay tuned. In the meantime, let's get into the weather, brought to you by Matt Wall, CPA, tax specialist with Gordon Stockman Wall, all things financial. Check out Matt Wall at 309-692-4030. All right, weather-wise, what do we have? Well, we have weather, and we can tell you today's live weather includes sunny and warm. Nice day. It was a nice day yesterday.
Nice this morning.
Yeah. And right now, we expect a high of 86, tonight's low 67. Tomorrow, sunny and 88, and Thursday, partly sunny, but look for afternoon showers and thunderstorms. That'll continue Thursday night. More showers and thunderstorms Friday afternoon. Right now, our temperature at 66 degrees. With headlines, here's Terry.
Well, we'll start with the bad news. Belgium defeated the USA in the World Cup competition last night. The final, Belgium 4, United States 1. President Trump was cheered at the White House as he rang the opening bell for the New York Stock Exchange yesterday morning during a special Oval Office ceremony celebrating the national rollout of the Trump accounts. The new savings program provides a $1,000 government deposit for children born between January 1st, 2025 and December 31st, 2028. More details at the top of the hour. Bad news for Maine Senate Democrat nominee Graham Plattner. A woman has accused Plattner of rape after he entered her home. The details she outlined of the attack have caused many of his supporters to flee like mice leaving the Titanic. Among those who called for Plattner to drop out of the race against Republican Susan Collins is Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and California Representative Ro Khanna. In local news, Peoria police have arrested 47-year-old Sammy Wright Jr., charging him with aggravated battery to a child. In this case, a 6-year-old he was babysitting, along with a 3-year-old. Thanks to a woman who notified officers of the possible child assault, the child was taken to a local hospital where an examination revealed numerous injuries, leading to Wright's arrest. A judge has ordered Wright to remain behind bars until his trial. East Peoria officials joined Pekin in saying no to data centers. Mayor John Call said there will be no data center or solar farm on land the city recently purchased at a cost of $5.2 million. The plot of land, once owned by the Kyle Bly family, is near property owned by Illinois Central College on the south side of Route 24. The mayor apparently is responding to fears and rumors of a possible data center. And those are the headlines, Roger.
And good timing because we have John Cross on the line. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Roger.
John has been our farm advisor for how many years now?
Oh, gosh, I don't know, quite a few.
Yeah, it has been quite a few.
Yeah.
And fortunately, we've been able to pay him big bucks to retain him because he's been recruited by other stations. Anyway, John, thanks for being a part of our program today. WCBU last week reported that a Morton farmer had been fined $250,000 by the Illinois Department of Agriculture for spraying when wind conditions prohibited the practice, and he did it in an area where there was a school across the street. And I thought, you know what? I don't think a lot of us know a lot about spraying, and I didn't realize that there's some tight regulations. What are some of the regulations you face as a farmer who spray or have in the past your fields to make sure it kills the weeds and other things to help have a bumper crop every year? Well, what are some of the regulations, John?
Well, yeah, there are quite a few, but the main thing is the wind and the direction of the wind. That's a key factor when you spray. I believe, the wind, you can't spray when the wind is over 15 mile an hour, or you're not supposed to for sure. There's greater chances of drifting the chemical away from the targeted area when the wind speed is greater than 15 mile an hour. The direction, if there's bees in the area or residential houses right next to your field, schools, bodies of water, maybe a pond or something like that, you got to pay attention to the direction. You'd like the wind to be away from those areas so the chemicals doesn't affect those spots. So, and the number one thing, of course, is to read the label.
Yeah,
whatever product you're using is to know what it does and how it works.
Yeah. What's the purpose of the pesticide? Just to kill weeds and other
it's
things?
To control the herbicides, control the weeds. The insecticides control insects. There's fungicide guys are spraying. There's several different kinds of pesticides that we use to control whatever our problem with our crop. So,
well, John, how do you know what the wind speed is? You call the Weather Bureau, and as you know, I don't know where they measure it. It might be different than on Queenwood Road or in San Jose that it is in Ebden. Where do you get your information to know when to spray and when not to spray?
Well, I think you just have to look at the forecast, of course, and the current conditions on your phone at the present time. They got weather stations all over that monitor the weather all the time that you can access to your phone. So you just keep close tabs as you can on that and the forecast. And do the best you can at the time. Things do change. You might start spraying and, the wind picks up or something like that. You have to be aware of that, or it may change direction. So it means you might have to stop or wait for a better time or you just got to be aware of all those things. But mostly, you get that information from your phone nowadays.
Oh, wow. Do you spray yourself? I think you told me you have someone spray for you now.
No, I use a commercial applicator. My supplier, the chemicals and fertilizers, they have spray rigs, and I hire that done. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's probably for your own personal safety. There's been so many lawsuits against, was it Monsanto and some of these other companies that they have carcinogenic chemicals in some of the spray, so I can see why it would be beneficial to have someone else to do it. Also, we've seen spraying done by pilots as well. Did you ever investigate, see what that would cost, and would that be too expensive?
Well, no, that is costly. It does cost more to use a plane or a helicopter, or now even today they use drones in some instances, especially smaller fields or fields by windmills where a plane can't fly close to. Drones are effective for that. But yeah, those applications do cost a little more. Fungicides are usually use aerial application because of the crop. The corn is bigger, and you want that spray to get down into as much on the crop as it can for its effectiveness. So yeah, it depends on the timing of the size of the crop, the weeds. Like some herbicides, especially, are more effective when the weeds are, say, 6 to 8 inches, and then if they get bigger than that, you might have to go to a different chemical. So there's a lot of factors that go into how and the type of spraying that's done.
It is amazing when you talk about what you have to know and what you have to do and what you have to buy. It points out how important you are. You majored, I think, in agriculture at Illinois State University, did you not?
Yes, yeah. Back in the day, it was several years ago.
But the point is that today's farmer is different than yesterday's farmer for many reasons. One of which is stay up to date on the latest herbicides, insecticides, fungicide, and offsides, and both sides, for that matter. So you really have to educate yourself in many ways.
Yeah, you do. You have to depend a lot upon your supplier, your salesman of the chemicals. You take in consideration their experience, their knowledge of a product. So that's a good thing to do. And also farmers are required, if to buy certain chemicals and to spray yourself. There's a 3-year pesticide certification test that you have to take to get certified to use the chemicals. And there's a booklet that, gives you a lot of information on how, why, when to spray, how to use the product, the dangers of it, the precautions you need to take. So, the information is there, and, you just try to
do the best you can.
Get as much of that knowledge about what you're using as possible so you can do it safely.
Yeah. Back to the Morton farmer, I believe his name is Mark Eichster, got fined $250,000, and he lost his license to spray. You think that was a little harsh on the side of the Illinois Department of Agriculture? $250,000, and as you know, far better than the rest of us, the margin of profitability is rather narrow, and suddenly he gets hit with $250,000. From my perspective, I thought that was excessive. What are your thoughts?
Well, it seems like it is. However, a lot of it would depend on the circumstances. Yeah. I know there's heavy fines for people who blatantly don't follow the rules. I don't know what the wind speed was that day. And it's more dangerous, of course, around schools or residential areas. So there's a lot of different factors and circumstances that probably came into play that I don't know any of the details, but, I assume, maybe he had a warning before. That's why the fine was so heavy. I'm not sure about that, but it does seem like that'd be a devastating fine for anybody to come up with to pay, for something like that. But without knowing all the details and circumstances behind it, it's hard to say. But yeah, it does seem like a very devastating amount.
That was a great answer. If you thought about running for public office, that was very diplomatic. I mean, that was good.
Well,
nice going,
yeah,
John.
Yeah, it's hard to say, you know.
Yeah, you said you didn't know what the wind speed was. Apparently, he didn't know either.
Well, apparently, yeah, or didn't pay attention to it, that's for sure.
Hey, how's the crop looking? How's the corn? How are the beans so far this year? You know, I grew up at a time when they used to say if the corn was knee-high by the 4th of July,
it's higher than that.
Good, and boy, it's a different story, different standard today, isn't it?
Yes, well, yeah, that old adage is long gone, mainly because we plant earlier than we used to. You know, the genetics are so much better nowadays, but the crop looks pretty good, really. We have more wet spots this year. We've had an abundance of rain here since the middle of June, and, you know, the low spots where water doesn't drain away as quickly, they're yellow, and some cases maybe even are lost where the water stood for a long time. But all in all, the corn looks really good. Yep. Some of it, the early corn is starting to tassel. The beans are finally starting to grow now. It seemed like they were pretty slow in getting started. But, yeah, all in all, looks like a pretty good year. We've been spoiled probably the last 4 or 5 years. We haven't had times when we've had to do a lot of replanting, per se, a lot of ponding. So this year's been a little different. We haven't had to face the drought, and we've had a lot of moisture, but that's good, you know, because corn especially, we need a lot of rain to make a good crop. So it's welcome.
And it was real important for me to ask that question because a guy said to me the other day, "You don't know beans, Roger," and I said, "That's true, but I know corn. I know somebody who does."
John, on the 3rd of July, we went and visited a niece down in the Petersburg area, and we took 55 down to around the Williamsville area, but you go west at that point, and you go about 10 or 15 miles to get it. And boy, I tell you, we were on back roads, and but the corn sure looked good to me. I mean, you're I don't know. It's hard to tell, you know, where the ground level is, but I mean, it's
it was looking healthy.
It's for going back. I'm old enough to remember that old phrase too about knee high it's way above knee high. I guarantee it looks like it's 5-6 feet in some places down. That.
Oh yeah.
Are you familiar with how far are you from Petersburg?
We're about probably 30, 35
Yeah, that's what
miles.
I thought, kind of down there. And
Yeah.
It looks like the crop is really good down there. And on the other hand, like I told our family members, we've got to have one of the best farmlands in central Illinois as there is in the world. I mean, I've been through Iowa and Nebraska, and they got they got terraced off, and I lived up in northern Michigan where it's nothing but sand, and I guarantee you the corn up there is about knee-high right now.
You know, interesting, Mike, John, is I've heard the best farmland is in the Toluca area. Then I would hear the best farmland down around San Jose and then around Emden. Is there any kind of a study as to where the best farm soil is in the state of Illinois?
It's good all over.
Well, yeah, it's pretty much all over. You know, southern Illinois, you have more timber and timber soils, but pretty much all of central and northern Illinois is really fertile, pretty well drained soils. So yeah, Illinois is blessed with some really, really good soil for growing crops. It's you know, well tiled, a lot of it nowadays, and you know, drains well, highly black, you know, productive soil. So yeah, we're blessed with a good soil fertility here in central Illinois, that's for sure.
Yeah, one of the ways you measure, I think, the quality of the soil of the land is what farmland or what land sells for. And East Peoria just bought at an auction 272 acres, and it figured out at $5.2 million at $19,000 an acre. Is that pretty standard in your mind? Would
Well,
land in your area
yeah.
sell for that or more?
No, well, in some cases it could be a little more, but that I would say that's a pretty good average for today for an acre of land. Yeah, anywhere from $18,000 to $20,000 is
Right there.
What's going for nowadays.
Okay. One final, I ask you about the corn crop and the bean crop. How's the sweet corn crop this year?
Well, it's tasseling. Mine's tasseling.
Okay, that's
I
a
got
good
two
sign.
different plantings, and they're both tasseling, and it won't be too long. So, holler if you need some.
Oh, okay. Are you gonna?
I need some.
Yeah. As the old saying goes, John, I know where you live.
Yep.
So
yep,
if you
yep,
wake
yep.
up in the middle of the night and you hear noise, you know it's Roger out there ripping out.
Don't shoot. Don't shoot.
Oh, okay.
Don't shoot.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
God bless you, John.
Thanks,
Have a
John.
great day.
Appreciate it.
Yep. Thank
You
you.
bet.
Yep. Good talking with you guys.
Thank you. John Cross, one of the really super nice guys that we enjoy talking to, living off the fruit of the land, in this case, the corn of the land and the beans of the land. We will tell you it is 66 degrees today. It will be sunny and warm, up to 86. Now, how about our pet tip of the day?
Today's pet tip is brought to you by Peoria Pet Crematory of Peoria and Lewiston, providing final care for family pets large and small, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Their phone number is 713-1898. That's 713-1898. More information is available at peoriapetcrematory.com.
Pet lovers are dedicated to their animals, all species from horses to turtles and of course cats and dogs. If you are a pet lover, learn these little known, somewhat amazing facts about your pet. A very unique and beautiful member of the horse family is the zebra. Zebras are considered the only true wild horses in the world today. Though much like the horse, the zebra's stripes make them very different. If you look closely, you will notice that they have long faces, big eyes, smaller hooves, stiffer manes, and are shorter than the common horse. Also, their ears are longer. At first glance, zebras in a herd might all look alike, but their stripe patterns are as distinctive as fingerprints in humans. Scientists can identify individual zebras by comparing patterns, stripe widths, color, and scars. One more interesting fact, their stripes are not just in their hair. It is believed that their skin is actually striped as well. All foals have a close association with their mothers. The male foals are close to the fathers. The males will leave their birth herd on their own accord between the ages of only 1 and 4 years to join an all-male bachelor group until they are strong enough to head a family of their own. The lifespan of a zebra in captivity can be 40 years. Exotic animals, however, should not be kept as pets. Their care is very specialized and expensive, so please enjoy them in the wildlife parks and zoos. This whisker of information has been made possible by a grant from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting in partnership with Spot, Saving Pets One at a Time, and KSBR Studios. Produced by Joseph C. McGuire and theme music by Stuardo Glasser.
Today's pet tip has been brought to you by Peoria Pet Crematory of Peoria and Lewiston, providing final care for family pets, large and small, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Their phone number is 713-1898. That's 713-1898. More information is available at peoriapetcrematory.com.
You know, it's always a pleasure talking to John, and I was wondering, how many of you, well, there's 2 of you, have, it's like, it's a big crowd in the studio. Have you ever gone out in the country and just driven around and stopped at some farms will have a stand where they're selling sweet corn and maybe soybeans, but I don't know, maybe
Some
produce or
carrots,
some
even some
carrots. What's the other? Even in Morton, I've seen signs in front of houses where they're selling cucumbers and spinach
peppers.
and peppers and so forth.
Yeah, I've I can't say I've ever, where I've shopped for fresh fruit over the last number of years, and they're closed now, is that place on 116, just before you get to Metamora.
I'm not sure I'm familiar with that.
Huh?
Is it a roadside stand?
No, it's more than a roadside stand. It's a business they used to run during the summer, and they had their own.
Well, there is a guy that pulls into the parking lot at Staples in Pekin,
Yeah.
and
got fresh fruit.
it's a family. And initially, I thought they raised. I think what they do is they buy peaches and other things from Southern Illinois, and I don't care where they come from. I don't care what labels on them if they're good
Right.
and priced right.
you can say
I'm not
apples.
interested in the family history of the peaches or the apples or whatever. That's one of the reasons I've always enjoyed, although I haven't been the last few years, to the place out Route 88, I call it, 40 now,
40 now, Knoxville. Yeah.
where they have the fall
You talking about Tanner's?
Tanners, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm told some of the things they sell are really not from their orchard, but come elsewhere. Again, I don't care as long as it tastes good, it's priced right. But it's a great place. I remember when we went west and we were in rural area outside of, I believe, Medford, Oregon, near Mount Hood. And Mount Hood is in Oregon, I think, rather than Washington. Anyway, they had a roadside stand for those Bing cherries. I love
those are
those
good too,
things.
yeah.
And expensive, by the way. I remember the first bag I bought from a local store, and I saw the price, $3.99. Well, it was $3.99 a pound. And suddenly, those Bing cherries were a lot more expensive than what I thought they were. At any rate, we have news, weather, and sports coming up. Our current temperature, 66. We'll give you the complete details on the weather at the top of the hour. So happy you could join us. And in the next hour, we're going to talk to Andy Diaz. Andy is newly elected to the Peoria District 150 School Board, and he's a super nice guy, and he...
Did he call out the board a little bit?
Yeah, he sure did. He
transparency?
filed some papers in court admonishing the administration of District 150. We're going to talk to Andy, so stay tuned for that. So happy you could join us on Breakfast with Roger and Friends, and that includes Teri Chamberlain and Mike Olson. It's going to be a great day today. It was a great day yesterday as well. Thanks for being a part of our program on YouTube at Roger and Friends LS and on WAZU FM 90.7 in Peoria, Illinois.
We hope you are enjoying Breakfast with Roger and Friends, which is the fastest growing morning show on 90.7 WAZU. And now it can be seen as well as heard on the World Wide Web on YouTube. Savvy business leaders may be interested in sponsorships on Breakfast with Roger and Friends. More information is available from Roger himself. His phone number is 309-397-1458. That's 309-397-1458.
Everybody, it is Tuesday, the 7th day of July, and we start with a check of the weather. This portion of our program today brought to you by Steve Sink of PHX Affiliates, the largest downstate Illinois brokerage firm headquartered right here in Peoria, Illinois. They specialize in business mergers and acquisitions. When it comes to business, check out Steve at 696-8508. Check out the flood warning continuing with the Illinois River reaching flood stage at 18.3 feet today. The river expected to rise to 19.3 feet by tomorrow afternoon and then start receding below flood stage late Sunday morning. Here's today's live weather forecast. Sunny and warm, high 86, tonight's low 67. Tomorrow sunny and 88. Thursday partly sunny, but look for afternoon showers and thunderstorms that will continue Thursday night. More showers and thunderstorms Friday afternoon. And currently our temperature, we're up a degree, 67. Now the news, Teri Chamberlain.
Millions of Americans and others around the world were glued to their TV sets last night watching the World Cup soccer game between the United States and Belgium. Well-known sports coach Mike Olson has the game results and details.
Well, U.S. lost 4-1. You can't give up 4 goals. Four goals is way too many. We had a goaltender that gave up the third goal, in my opinion, by getting way, way far out of the goal, and they scored basically what they call an empty net goal that made it 3-1, and then we had some defensive lapses, and they put the nail in the coffin when they scored their 4th goal to win 4-1. But we'll talk a little bit more about the individual play during the sports, but we did get to the round of 16 there, and I think they represented the country pretty well. It probably the coach said it was probably the weakest game that they played, which is unfortunate. But sometimes it takes a generation or two to get to the point where you really feel. You can talk about saying, well, we feel like we can win. Well, that's nice to feel like you win, but do you really believe you can win? And I think we haven't quite got to that point yet.
Yeah, I think they were playing a higher level competitor
team. No,
for that matter.
I think I said they were rated at least going into the tournament. Belgium was like the 8th seeded team in the FIFA tournament, World Cup tournament, and we were like 17. So we were just outside of that 16, and that's where we finished. And
you got it. Unfortunately, the contest became controversial because President Trump appealed to the president of the International Federation of Association Football for a review of the suspension of the team's USA's top player. The review was held, and the star striker was reinstated for last night's key match, but he didn't make any difference in the outcome.
No.
The decision angered Trump haters who, instead of cheering the reinstatement of Folarin Balogun, turned against the USA team and the president. They preferred criticism of Trump rather than acknowledge the bad decision made by Brazilian referee Rafael Claus. Claus was investigated in his home country regarding match fixing and betting accusations.
And there's no truth that Claus is the son of Santa. President Trump was cheered at the White House as he rang the opening bell for the New York Stock Exchange yesterday morning during a special Oval Office ceremony celebrating the national rollout of the well-known now Trump accounts.
The new savings program provides a $1,000 government deposit for children born between January 1st, 2025 and December 31st, 2028. The money is immediately invested into an index fund. Parents, guardians, and relatives can contribute up to $5,000 per year. The account is held entirely in the child's name, with the parent or legal guardian serving as the sole custodian until the child reaches age 18, and that's when the funds can be withdrawn. The interest rate each year could range between 6 and 10%.
Do you think that's going to urge and motivate and inspire people quick to have children?
Yes.
Okay.
Gotta have between 26 and 28, right?
Yeah, that's
I'm
right.
28, so
Well,
let's get married, huh?
Let's get busy. Yeah. Hey,
we could have at least 2 by then, can't we?
There's some bad news for Maine Senate Democrat nominee Graham Plattner. A woman has accused him of rape after he entered her home. The details she outlined of the attack causing many of his supporters to flee like mice on the Titanic. Among those who called for Plattner to drop out of the race against Republican Susan Collins includes Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and California Representative Ro Khanna.
Sunny Hostin, who sits on the ABC program The View, said yesterday she feels unsafe and uncomfortable when she enters a neighborhood where families are flying the American flag. You may recall the controversial Democrat was a guest at this year's Martin Luther King luncheon at the Civic Center. She typically receives between $50,000 to $100,000 for appearances and earns around $2 million a year from ABC for attacking President Trump and Republicans.
The July 4th weekend brought violence to Raleigh, North Carolina, thanks to rioting by up to 10,000 teenagers. 5,000, count them, teens took over Briar Creek, and another 5,000 rampant in Glenwood South. Those are two different areas of the city of Raleigh. Up to 6 people wounded by gunfire. The mayor of Raleigh considering imposing a curfew. That would be really a harsh penalty on these kids.
In local news, Peoria police have arrested 47-year-old Sammy Wright Jr., charging him with aggravated battery to a child. In this case, a 6-year-old he was babysitting, along with a 3-year-old. Thanks to a woman who notified officers of the possible child assault, the child was taken to a local hospital where an examination revealed numerous injuries leading to Wright's arrest. A judge has ordered Wright to remain behind bars until his trial.
East Peoria officials joined Pekin in saying no to data centers. Mayor John Call said there will be no data center or a solar farm on land the city recently purchased at a cost of $5.2 million. The plot of land, once owned by the Kyle Bly family, is near property owned by Illinois Central College on the south side of Route 24. It's also near that golf course as well. What's the name?
Quail Meadows?
Quail
maybe?
Meadows, that's it. You know, for 10 points, you know who once owned, if not all of it, much of it? Dr. Shea, Tonnet Shea, Sonnet, S-A-N-I-T, who was the obstetrician who has since retired, and his brother Tonnet is the cardiologist. Anyway, it's near that property to give you an idea where
Pretty
it
nice
is.
course.
The mayor apparently responding to fears and rumors of a possible data center. I guess whenever you hear that term, some people get nervous and excited and angry. Data centers apparently inspire the worst in some people.
It's
I
a
guess
hot topic.
Well said. Thank you.
The Peoria Journal is reporting District 150 has hired Shamar Hill as the new Peoria High School girls basketball coach. She graduated from Central in 2012 and replaces Michi Edwards, who did the coaching at the high school for 28 seasons, starting with the boys team for 9 years. That's it for news, Roger.
Okay, that's it. Well, that's it for news. Now sports news. There's the guy who knows sports, and that's Coach Mike Olson.
Thank you, Ballard. Jerry mentioned that I chipped in. U.S. did lose last night 4-1 to Belgium. Did not play extremely well and didn't score enough and gave up too many. You know, the key, I always say that you can win any contest if you hold the opponent to 2 or less and score 3 or more. And they scored 3 or more and held us to 2 or less, and they won. Tillman scored the only goal for the U.S. I think we heard a little bit. We didn't mention it earlier. I believe his name is Plesnik. Is probably our top scorer, and he got. They call it a tackle, and I think they just come in and smash the legs of the guy that has the ball, and it is a form of a tackle, or to me it's more of a trip, and you see the guy laying on the ground, and he's definitely got a bad bruise, if not worse, even with his leg. And Plesnik was not able to play the last, I'd say,
part of the game. Yeah. You ever been hit in the shins? That is painful.
Oh, I got hit last night at our little league. We do have a nice batting cage now.
Why did you get in?
Well, I'm standing
at a
too
little league
close.
game.
I was working with the hitters in the batting cage.
Okay.
The Park District put up for our Peoria Little League program. Over at the stadium, we have 2 diamonds. Diamonds 1 and 2.
Good for you.
One's closest to the War Memorial, and one is the 10U, one is the 12U, a little bit bigger, and they put a shed up a couple of years ago for us to store our supplies, and then last year they put up a batting cage, very, very nice, very good cage. On the end where the balls, if they missed the pitches, there's a little opening at the bottom, and it came through.
Came through and hit you.
It got me right square.
Oh,
in the
you're
shin.
kidding.
Yeah, it took a bounce. It wasn't, and we're talking 30, 40 miles an hour to a 9-year-old.
Are you going to sue the district?
No,
Okay.
no. I'm very happy.
How about suing the kid?
Because this year they did got us a pitching machine.
Oh,
And,
really? That's
so,
neat.
Yeah, kids are getting.
Is it permanent there, or do they bring?
The cage is permanent, and
But the machine is not.
The machine it needs electric power, which is set up there
Okay.
by where you turn the lights on, because they are lighted fields, and we have 2
Good.
games at the
Hey,
older level.
that's great.
No, we're very happy with the
The
progress.
kids have uniforms.
Kids are supplied uniforms by the
Wow,
park
that's
district.
terrific. Good
Yep,
for you
and,
guys.
hats and shirts, they have to get their own pants. That's pretty standard today at a lot of
Yeah.
leagues. In the old days, you would keep the good ones that weren't worn out too much and pass them down.
In the olden days, we just had jerseys. That was it.
Yeah,
a jersey and a ball cap.
That's
it.
what the park district supplies.
Yeah.
And I give them credit, they actually supply 2. So if they're the home
Good
team,
for
they
the
wear a
park
certain
district.
color. If they're the visiting team, they wear the other color. So it gets them 2 nice.
Because you remember years ago who sponsored all the Little League programs?
Well, it was. I mean,
Peoria Journal.
yeah, the Journal. We had a great.
They provided the umpires, the balls.
And that's what the park district does now.
Good for them.
And the only thing is we don't have it at every site like we used to have it.
Yeah.
And the kids have to get to the stadium, but we got about 55 kids playing.
Good for you, my
So
friend.
we're pretty happy. But I remind the kids it's on a cement slab, and then there's AstroTurf, we'll call it, or synthetic turf covering the area inside. But the area
That's a
outside,
pretty good
I tell 'em,
deal.
stay back away from that screen as far as you can.
Yeah.
Because it's like any screen, things will go through occasionally, and they did last night.
Have you ever watched a game, I know you have, and so many of our listeners, where the fans sit right behind home plate,
Yeah.
the batter swings, and
Falls it off.
the ball skips off the bat and goes right at the screen, and even though the screen is protecting you, you see the
make a
fans move like
Yeah.
they're going to get hit. It's
I do it
actually
all- I do it all the time.
It's kind of comical.
As I stand, and I should stand more to the side than right behind,
You're right.
but I kind of stand behind because
Well, you still can have a foul ball
you can have
go
a
in
fall
your
ball
direction.
go that way,
yeah.
and no, you
I wonder, for many years, we did not have the screens that we have at Major League Park. Long overdue, because
Long over- well, we had a
there have
problem
been
in
people who've
Peoria.
been hit
we had a problem in Peoria about 5 years ago.
We
where
did?
A lady got hurt
at Dozer Park.
at Dozer Park, and she.
Oh, I do remember
And they were
that.
supposed to have the screens up by then, and they didn't.
And they didn't, and so she
the lady
sued.
said
and-
she sued, and like she said, I just want it so that they put it in,
right.
so that the attention is given that they put it in, so nobody gets hit like I did.
Yeah.
Because and I've coached when coaching third base, where the head coach usually coaches from, in baseball. I've been hit by line drive.
Well, you remember a guy, didn't he get killed?
Yeah,
Or-
first base coach.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And now
That's why they wear a helmet.
that's why they wear a helmet now. Yeah.
No, I call them sometimes they're like heat-seeking missiles.
Oh, they are.
If you move to the right, it seems the ball goes to the right. If you move to the left, it seems the ball goes to the left. So you're better off probably just to stay there and hopefully
And maybe try to catch it.
yeah, maybe. Well, yeah.
Every now and then you'll see a guy reach out.
I got to the point where I
You
just,
decide-
and everything might.
You
I dove
decide
all
not
the
to
way
do that
sometimes.
anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're not careful, you start moving up a little closer so they can hear you too a little bit more.
Hmm.
You're only about 85 feet away if you're at the front part of the box, because it's right around the third base area.
Yeah.
And the ball hitting, and if you got right-handed batter pulling that ball towards you. Well, I remember Tommy Lasorda, who coached for many years.
Oh, yeah.
In an All-Star game, he was coaching.
He did a backflip.
Oh, he did a backflip.
Yeah.
You remember it perfectly.
I sure do.
This is probably 10 years ago now, or 12. But,
And he grinned about
and
it.
he just got up. But he was just fortunate he didn't get
That
hit.
he didn't get fouled,
Because,
yeah.
I mean, it was...
Well, what else do you have there,
Well,
sports guy?
as far as the game went, like I say, the goaltender at 2-1, we got back to 2-1. Or we got back at 1-1, and we gave up a goal like 2 minutes later, defensive lapse, to make it 2-1. And then we're kind of fighting our way back. You know, you're down 1, you got a shot. You got a shot. I mean, it takes one shot to score, right? If it's the right
exactly
shot.
right,
So-
yeah.
And then all of a sudden, there's a ball that's at the top of the box, and the goalie comes out way too far. As Royce would say, on too long.
He made a mistake, didn't he?
And the ball is stolen by the man that was around the defender, and he got it to a guy that was just a little bit behind him, and the shot was at least 40 feet away, but there was one defender back there, and I was wondering in hockey if there's an open net, and you know they pull their goalie at the end. There's a rule that if you offend the shooter or with the open net, or you throw your stick trying to deflect, you do something illegal, it's an automatic goal. Because I thought maybe the guy that was defending would have been better for him, maybe somebody can call and help us on this, is if he would have just tried to grab the ball and given them a penalty shot there. If you play the ball with your hands inside the box, it's a penalty shot. Well, but I think it's probably the same rule. If he play with the empty net, if
Yes.
he plays the ball with his hands, it's probably a goal. So consequently, he tried to use his foot to stop it, but the shot was in the corner and he didn't have a chance. He's not a goalie. He's a defender.
No.
Yeah. So, but with a couple lapses, that made it 3-1, and then they put the nail in the coffin with another defensive lapse, and Belgium ends up winning 4-1. And most people, Belgium's a little more talented, but with the, help us with how'd you pronounce that name?
Falauan Balogun.
Balogun is pretty close. I think, you know, a lot of people felt that we had a chance. It's playing on our home soil and momentum that we got through
Didn't turn out that way, did it?
Yeah, we thought we were in pretty good shape, but I think that the coach said it even, the better team prevailed, and that was Belgium last night. Now, they got a tough match against Spain, but overall, I think with the tournament being played in Canada, and basically the Americas here, and the United States, and in Mexico, it's been very, very well attended and supported, that's for sure. They say all the ratings on TV are extremely high, and high as they've ever been, so congratulations to them. Hey, getting on to baseball last night, the Brewers, they keep winning. They lead the Cubs, the second place team in the National League Central, by 6 games. They beat the Cardinals 4-3 down in St. Louis. They have a lot of baseball in St. Louis today. They're making up a game that got rained out earlier in the year. So they're actually playing a 5-game series down in St. Louis against the Brewers. So
5 games.
5 games. They had 4-game schedule.
They can make it competitive if they win
Right, but
3 of the 5, or maybe even 4 of the 5.
lost
But they
over.
lost.
4-3. They had a chance in the bottom of the 9th, but couldn't quite get it done. So we said the Brewers will be at the Cardinals today. I believe it's at 1:15. The first game, day-night doubleheader. They'll play again tonight. You can catch them on TV. The Cubs are at the Orioles at 5:35 in Baltimore, and the Red Sox are up in Chicago playing the White Sox at 6:40. White Sox are still leading the Central American League Central Division over the Cleveland Indians.
They just had a series
They sure did, yeah.
against the Indians.
I think the Indians won 2 out of 3, if I'm not mistaken.
I think they did.
Men at the Wimbledon, one of the major of the majors, I think, over in London, England. American Taylor Fritz defeated Alexander Bublik in straight sets. The most talked about match of the day saw Britons, well, obviously it's their hometown or home area country player, coming out of the wild card where you have to play in to get into the tournament of 64 teams. He beat Arthur Ferry to move, or his name is Arthur Ferry. He defeated Grigor Dimitrov in 5 sets. Today's matches, you'll see Sinner, the top seed, against Struff, and Djokovic, always one of the top seeds, if not the top in this, but probably 2 or 3. Djokovic will be playing in a match today also. 2 American women lost yesterday. Madison Keys lost to Linda Noskova, and Ashley Kruger was defeated by Marta Kostyuk. Today, the 2 remaining American girls that are still vying for the Wimbledon Championship, number 4 seed Jessica Bagula and number 7 seed Coco Gauff. Coco Gauff's the young girl that kind of
Yeah, she started, I think, in Wimbledon when she was 17, was
I
it?
think it was actually 16 even, 15,
She was
somewhere
very young.
between 15. She was young.
She was a
so
teen.
She's probably in her early 20s now.
Yeah.
But one of those 2 girls will definitely advance today because they're playing each other. So good luck to them, and hopefully that person will go on and have some success at Wimbledon. And that's sports on WAZU, 90.7 FM on your radio dial, and then on the worldwide network at Roger and Friends LS.
Yes.
Thank you.
When you stop to think, and I don't know how closely over the years the 2 of you followed Wimbledon, but I remember when Steffi Graf was a German horse, I shouldn't say horse, but
Good
good player. And
Word for
the arguments of John McEnroe and Jimmy
Connors was always a great match.
Arguing, yelling, throwing their tennis rackets
Wasn't
and
Connors
carrying
from
off.
East St. Louis or somewhere in that area, down by the
Yeah,
St.
got me.
I'm
Got me
pretty
on
sure
that.
Connors was,
And then we were talking yesterday about Althea Gibson,
oh boy,
first black
and
female.
then Arthur Ashe.
And Arthur Ashe, who they named in Flushing, New York, I think,
One of
after
the main
him on
courts,
it. Yeah.
if not the main
Court.
court. Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of the German male tennis player that won Wimbledon and was outstanding, but his name escapes me.
I think of the name Rod Laver.
Rod Laver, Australia.
Australian, right?
Yeah.
Who
Yeah,
always
another
had good,
He had good court demeanor, and he was a heck of a tennis player on top of that.
Yeah, he was born in Belleville. Jimmy
Melville.
Connors.
There you
Jimmy
go.
Nice
Close to St.
going.
Louis, yeah.
Yep.
Good memory there,
That was a
sir.
great, and I'm to the point as a sports enthusiast, I enjoyed watching the majority of the soccer game last night. I didn't like it when our goalie, basically gave up the deciding goal as far as I was. Not
made
the
him-
deciding,
yeah.
but basically.
Did they make a big deal of his goof?
Yeah,
the
quite a bit on
announcers, did
TV.
they?
Yeah, I mean,
Said he
yeah,
made a
yeah,
mistake,
not
did
as
he?
much as they. I think they do
were
protect
nice
a
on it.
little bit, but no, you can't. You leave that goal, and you can leave. They leave the goal occasionally to get the ball, which is
Right.
fine. But you got to get the ball.
Yeah.
Because
Before
don't
the
forget,
other,
they can
before the
handle
other
the,
guy
they
gets
can
it,
handle
yeah.
the ball. They can catch the ball, the goalie. So sometimes, to keep the ball in play and to get their offense moving again quickly,
Yeah.
they'll catch the ball and either boot it all the way down,
Yeah.
or they'll make a nice throw pass to somebody on what I call the wing on the outside, and we're going off it.
Yeah.
To great offense. But if you don't get it and you're out, that's a mistake. So you have to make that judgment all the time. Okay, I'm going to come out, but their man and the goalie got there about the same time, and unfortunately their man gained control of the ball and made a short pass to a man right behind him, and that man drilled a
And that was over.
45-footer.
All right,
Unprotected.
that ended, and that's our sports on Breakfast with Roger and Friends.
Yep.
Don't go away. We'll be right back with more following this message.
This message is from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Do you want easy access to VA Online, as well as other government websites? Then login.gov is the way to go. Login.gov is a U.S. government service that provides seamless access to government websites. By creating a login.gov account, You can use the same email and password to sign into VA.gov, My Healthy Vet, VA DoD e-benefits, and the VA Health and Benefits mobile app, among other VA services. Login.gov also allows you to securely sign in to USA Jobs and TSA PreCheck, and to apply for SBA small business loans and disaster assistance. One login, many resources. To create a Login.gov account, simply go to va.gov and click Sign In.
Okay, thank you kindly. Hey, it's the 7th of July, and how about this day in history?
Yeah.
As we approach the bottom of the hour, and we're going to talk to Andy Diaz of the Peoria School Board coming up very shortly. On this day in 1912, something special happened at the Olympic Games. What was it?
1912?
1912.
Would that have been the guy from Chariots of Fire, the racer?
The what was that?
He was a runner. The guy from Chariots of Fire, Roger something, I think was his
Bannister
name. Yeah, Roger.
broke the 4-minute mile.
Roger Bannister? No, that came later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is going way back.
Go way
The
back.
guy who did it was well known in
Was this
sports.
Jim Thorpe?
Jim Thorpe,
Jim
yeah.
Thorpe,
What
very
did he?
good,
What
very
did?
good.
What?
But my first thought was Jesse Owens, but that's way later too.
That was that was during Hitler when he was
Okay, if I could
throwing
just,
things away. But what
I-
did he do?
well,
That's the question.
probably
You have
wasn't-
the person,
yeah,
and by the way, what was his heritage?
Indian,
Native Indian.
Native American Indian, yeah.
and he ran with a pair of shoes that were different. I mean,
Yeah, they came from Payless, which closed later
showed some
on
pictures of-
university.
I mean that's how
Well, he won something.
well he.
And by the way, in 1912, what number Olympics was it?
Oh boy,
Which I think is a good question.
I think it's a great question. I'm going to just say eighth.
Fifth modern Olympics.
Fifth.
And where was it held? In what country?
1912. England.
European country
France?
and Baltic country.
Okay, Baltic.
And it's a country that, that was, I was going to say, that made a big splash when they arrived in this country, but that was Norway. It was not Norway. So you're down to what,
Sweden.
three other choices?
Sweden.
That is correct, in Stockholm, Sweden.
Okay.
So what did he win? I don't even know what this
Event-
category was. The event, yeah.
I'd say the 100-yard dash. But,
No, it was a combination.
The decathlon?
oh, the
Well, you're close.
pentathlon.
The triathlon?
The pentathlon. What is a pentathlon?
Would be five events?
He would
events
also,
versus
he
10
would
events.
soon win the decathlon as well, carrying out an epic performance in the 15 events
Yeah.
he competed in during the summer games. And what state was he born in?
Oklahoma?
Very good. Can you tell me the name of the Indian reservation?
No, I can't.
Sac and Fox Indian Reservation.
What is it, Roger?
Sac, S-A-C,
Like
Or
Saks Fifth
sock.
Avenue?
and
Saxon Fox.
as in the White Sox.
Yeah.
No, that's a different spelling.
That's
Anyway, he
great
attended
question.
Pennsylvania's Carlisle Indian School.
Yeah.
He started on the track team and later the football team.
Yep.
In spring 1912, while still at Carlisle, Thorpe began to train for the Summer Olympics. At the closing ceremonies, he was hailed by King Gustaf of Sweden, who called him the greatest athlete in the world. And he was.
He was at that.
He returned
if you won the
to a
decathlon and the-
ticker tape parade in New York City. But guess what?
I know,
A year later,
stripped of his medals.
you're exactly right. He was stripped of his Olympic
Because he'd
medals
taken a little money.
because he had played minor league baseball
That's right.
professionally. What a cheap
Yep.
thing. What's that have to do with?
Now we have college players.
Now we have
making
professional players and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. In 1913, he began playing both baseball and football professionally. That was in 1913. In 1983, the IOC presented replicas of the 2 gold medals stripped from Thorpe to his family 30 years after his death, and years of immense public pressure. Though the IOC has failed to reinstate Thorpe's victories in official record, Thorpe is still remembered as one of the greatest athletes of all time. And can you imagine? Because he played minor league baseball, he was considered a professional. What a cheap.
That was a cheap shot.
Not fair.
If I could take just a minute of time to tell you a situation that happened with my father. He won the world's log rolling championship. They called it Berlin, but log rolling championship. The tournament they have up in Hayward, Wisconsin. He won you had to be in high school and below, the junior championship.
Yeah.
Okay? And he took a little trophy, and I've seen the trophy. It's like a participation trophy for our kids today. Maybe 6 inches. With most of its plastic, it was a little bit of a gold cup on it. Okay? The story goes, he was going to be a senior at his high school. The other point guard coming up who played in the JV team was going to be a junior, but he was the superintendent's son. And somehow the IHSA Michigan, not the it would be Illinois, Michigan Department of High School Athletics got wind that this young athlete in Marquette, Michigan, which is so far from Lansing that they don't even know where it exists hardly at that time in the 40s. And they ruled him ineligible for all athletics his senior year.
Because he got the trophy.
Because he got it. Because the trophy was like worth $3.50, a little over the limit of $3.
Oh, for heaven's
It wasn't even $4.
You talk about petty crap.
Well, like I said, there's always reasons if you can dig deep. Just like, somebody wanted to take those things away from the Indian, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I think you're right.
They called him the best athlete ever. Come on.
You got it.
He was.
The news at the bottom of the hour. We'll start with the weather brought to you by Spoon River Home Health. They've been providing quality care for people in their Central Illinois homes now for over 30 years. They're a professional and compassionate staff of nurses, therapists, home care assistants available to care for you or your loved one safely and comfortably today. You can reach them for more information, 309-245-0723. Today's live weather forecast indicates another beautiful day, sunny and warm, high of 86. Tonight's low 67, tomorrow sunny and 88. Thursday, partly sunny. Look for afternoon showers and thunderstorms Thursday afternoon, continuing into Thursday night. More showers and thunderstorms on Friday happening in the afternoon. Right now, we're up to 69 degrees. And now the news brought to you by Bob Manning, Senior Vice President, Financial Advisor. Bob with the Grandview Capital Group at Morgan Stanley. For all your investment needs, check out Bob Manning at 309-671-4653. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC, member SIPC. Here's Terry with the headlines.
So we'll start with the bad news. Belgium defeated the USA in the FIFA World Cup competition last night. The final, Belgium 4, the United States 1. President Trump was cheered at the White House as he rang the opening bell for the New York Stock Exchange yesterday morning during a special Oval Office ceremony celebrating the national rollout of the Trump accounts. The new savings program provides $1,000 government deposit for children born between January 1st, 2025 and December 31st, 2028. There'll be more details at the top of the hour. Bad news from Maine Senate Democrat nominee Graham Plattner. A woman has accused Plattner of rape after he entered her home. The details she outlined of the attack have caused many of his supporters to flee like mice leaving the Titanic. Among those who called for Plattner to drop out of the race against Republican Susan Collins was Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and California Representative Ro Khanna. In local news, Peoria police have arrested 47-year-old Sammy Wright Jr., charging him with aggravated battery to a child. In this case, a 6-year-old he was babysitting along with a 3-year-old. Thanks to a woman who notified officers of the possible child assault, the child was taken to a local hospital where an examination revealed numerous injuries, leading to Wright's arrest. A judge has ordered Wright to remain behind bars until his trial.
Good morning, Andy.
East Peoria officials joined Pekin in saying no to data centers. Mayor John Call said there will be no data center or solar farm on land the city recently purchased at a cost of $5.2 million. The plot of land, once owned by the Kyle Bly family, is near property owned by Illinois Central College on the south side of Route 24. The mayor was apparently responding to fears and rumors of a possible data center. And those are the headlines, Roger.
And we continue. Last week we were talking about Andy Diaz, who is a new member of the Peoria School Board, and we have him on the phone. We're going to talk a little bit with Andy. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
Thank you. Doing quite well. Let's talk, first of all, tell us a little bit about Andy Diaz and why you decided to run for school board.
Well, I'm a Peoria kid, grew up here in the near north end, Woodruff grad, and, you know, I've lived around the country, Roger. I work for Caterpillar now. They've moved me around the country, and Peoria has always been home. So when we came back here 9 years ago, you know, I strove to get involved and do all that I could to make Peoria a better place, whether it was 5 years ago running for mayor, opening up a commissary kitchen where we give food entrepreneurs a place to start their business, or, you know, now running and getting a seat on the school board so that our children have the chance for a world-class education.
Yeah, it sounds like you're really, truly invested in the community. I can't, since you mentioned Caterpillar, I can't go on without telling you a story that I had. This is a true story. Mike Dentino, a dear friend of this program, who has since passed away, worked at Caterpillar. One morning I asked him during our program, I said, Mike, how many people work at Caterpillar? He said about 40%. Which I thought was...
I might use that line.
Yeah, at any rate, you really you got elected, and almost within hours of being seated, you kind of blew the whistle and maintained that things weren't being handled right, basically because they put on the consent agenda a proposal to have a referendum about increasing by 1/2 cent the sales tax. And as you know, and those who study parliamentary law, if you put something on a consent agenda, that means there will be no discussion, no debate, or whatever. You didn't think that was right. Walk us through what happened and why you did what you did.
Yeah, so I'm a process guy, right? If you give me the rules and lay them out, I'll figure out the rules and be able to play your game. And in this case, the school board has continued to evade following the rules of the Open Meetings Act and how they notice meetings and what they put on agendas. And so in this case, you know, the organizational meeting was noticed and people knew that that was going to happen. What the school board didn't tell the people is that they were going to have a secondary meeting where they would try to pass this tax increase and a few other things which may be standard, but the fact that the school board has been told multiple times over the last couple of years by the Attorney General that they're not following the spirit of OMA, I took umbrage. And, you know, I went to stop it because I honestly believe that if we are going to have good government, the government has to follow the rules set forth for it, which is to give people 48 hours notice on a meeting. It's to publish things like our budget and our agenda and all of these items to be transparent with the community, and this school board has failed at doing that. So I was at my wit's end in terms of everyone just tells you, the state's attorney general, the community will just tell you, file a complaint. Well, filing a complaint has got us to where we are today, where this board acts with impunity, does as it pleases, doesn't follow the rules, and I just said enough. Now, I filed the lawsuit myself, and so I didn't realize I needed a notarized affidavit of my statement of harm. I figured filing the lawsuit was my statement of harm. But that's where, our lawyer friends in the community, I encourage you to take a look at what's going on and help out the next guy who is trying to, just get good government transparency and have them follow the rules. Ultimately, we won, right? Because the school board did pull it off the agenda. There was a lot of pressure. People knew about it, which is what I think they were trying to avoid. So ultimately, I may not have won in court, but I did win in the court of public opinion.
Yeah, and I think you're exactly right. Andy, could you not have maybe taken a shortcut by making a motion to pull it from the consent agenda, which is under parliamentary law quite appropriate? I think you need a second motion, and hopefully people would on the board say, yes, let's take it off the consent agenda, or do you think the numbers were against you to achieve that?
Well, the problem was that there was actually 2 meetings on Wednesday, Roger, and they noticed the first meeting, which was the noon meeting for an organizational meeting where we would have been installed. And then they posted a second agenda that had a 12 o'clock start time that was to pass this budget amendment and some other items. And so my argument to the court was you can't have 2 12 o'clock meetings, and the one that you
Schedule at the same time on the same day?
Yeah.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
right? But that's where the court said, I can't find on your merits because you didn't fill out the paperwork right. But that was part of the argument, is that the school board didn't do it right. I wouldn't have had a chance to vote on it or to even try to pull it.
I see.
And this is the problem, is the school board had the opportunity to pull it when I filed the lawsuit, right? I talked to their lawyers for an hour to tell them that this wasn't right, and I think they might have actually agreed, and maybe that's why the incoming school board president then made up a story about why they should pull it, because they didn't want to lose face to the community, right? They didn't want to admit that I had shown them that they were wrong and I was in the right. Instead, they made up a story that said the school board superintendent didn't know anything about this. It was from the prior administration. But we know that to not be true, right? So a story was made up. The press will never cover it. But I'm going to hold people accountable to be truthful with the people of Peoria and stop these lies and nonsense that's going on at the school board.
Yeah, I think, Andy, you're going to be the conscience of the school board, and you fight an uphill battle, I'm sure, because in politics you play the numbers game and you count how many, but that isn't designed or will muzzle you in your effort to let people know what's really going on. And I know it's going to be a struggle, but you knew that when you ran for school board.
100%. And that's where I will use my platform, my voice, social media, everything that I can to make sure that we continue to educate the people of Peoria. Even with the tax referendum, there's so much misinformation. People thought it was offsetting their property tax. They thought it was only half a cent, right? Not a half a percent. And so sometimes people don't get the nuance, and I want to make sure that they get all that information so that they can make educated decisions and challenge their elected officials whenever it's necessary.
Now, for the sales tax, that was to be put on the ballot as a referendum for November, was it not?
Correct.
Okay. And why are you opposed to it?
It's not that I'm opposed to it, Roger. My biggest thing is that you need to follow the laws and the rules, because that's what the state of Illinois put out there, so that people feel they're represented and have good, transparent government. That's noticing meetings. That's giving public the chance to give an input. In regards to the money in general, I think there's a problem at our school district that we still haven't done our audit from last year, that we don't have a budget passed, that they've not noticed the budget meetings in the past. That's where I'm coming in as a process person. It's not to be contrary to everything that's going on. It's the people in Peoria heard my message during the campaign that I wanted clear, transparent government. I overwhelmingly won my election, and so I think I owe it to the people of Peoria to be up there and question those things and get discussion going, instead of telling the public, as we've had a board member tell, out in public, they said it at the last board meeting, some of the public, they don't want to share information because they don't think that they can understand what's going on. And I believe that if we explain what's going on, people understand it. They're not stupid people. But we have to be transparent and open with them and be willing to share information with the public so that they can understand what's going on at our school district.
So the bottom line, Andy, is that the increase of half cent, I guess, you can clarify that, will not be a referendum on the ballot in November because Dr. Bell has withdrawn that effort. Am I right? Am I reading that right?
Well, you're correct that it won't be on the ballot, but it was pulled under our incoming board president, Paris McConnell, stated to the public that this was something from prior administration. I don't know if she said that because she was mistaken or if she's lying to the public, but that's just not true, right? The reason they pulled it is because the pressure was on them and they were caught doing something a little underhanded. But this superintendent was well aware that it was going to be on the agenda. He was quoted in the press as saying that he's been on phone calls with at least 5 other superintendents in the region about this tax. So I'm not sure, why they gave the story that they did, but I do believe they're going to try to bring it back. They have until August 17th to have the council pass it and have it be on the ballot this year. So I would have your listeners stay tuned, keep an eye on that board, because my guess is they may try to bring it back before August 17th and get that on the agenda.
Okay, one quick question, and that is, do you have any, and I put this in quotation marks, friends on the board so that you are not alone in a very challenging, perhaps and sometimes difficult atmosphere?
Roger, I think everybody's my friend, right?
Okay.
We're going to make alliances. We're going to be good public officials. We've got a new board member who joined with me.
Sarah Howard.
She also said she was running on transparency and accountability and good government. So, I'm going to be challenging all of the board members to let's play this straight. Let's do this the right way. Let's bring the public along and engage them so that we can make our school district better. It's the only way it can work.
Andy, this is Terry. I have a question. Could be very naive, but not having kids, I'm not after with the school districts. What is the sales tax going to be on? Well, I mean, it's a school district, so what are you taxing?
We would be taxing anything that you purchase in Peoria County that, aside from medicine and groceries, is my understanding, are the two that get kind of bypassed. But it's something that everything sales tax related. So in parts of Peoria, like in Westlake Plaza, you could be pushing 11 or 12% tax on your Portillo's dinner tomorrow night.
Oh, if I go buy a thing of kitty litter at Petco, it's going to be taxed and it's going to go to the Peoria School District.
Well, a portion of it, right?
A portion of it, right.
Portion, yeah.
Yeah, because Westlake has their own little thing.
45-50% of it.
Okay, all right, thank you.
My name is Mike Olson. I taught in the district for 33 years, 11 at Richwoods, 22 as a math teacher. I better get this right. 22 at Peoria High School. And I think you're spot on when you make the statement that the only way the public can really make an educated decision is to get the facts of what actually is entailed. I mean, you can't make a good decision if you don't have the right facts. And I think you're spot on what you're doing there. And I was I was always on the as a building rep for our union, and I know the Terry Knapps and the Kenny Meishners when they were running the union for us. You know, it worked hard to make sure that they were doing what you're doing right now, in my opinion, and did a good job for the teachers and the students of District 1, which, you know, one thing I always have a hard time, we'll get this standard answer from a student, well, we're doing it for the kids. Well, I hope you're doing it for the kids. Are you doing it for yourself, or are you doing it for no, it's all about the kids, you know, and as a teacher of 37 years total, 4 in a private school prior to that, Bergen High School, to me, you know, my job every day was to take care of the kids, and that's what you're doing by helping the people, by getting the facts that they need to make help, you know, understand what's going on, and then of course good decisions made by the board. And appreciate your efforts. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm going to always be me, and I'm always going to be fighting for the residents of Peoria.
Peoria, right?
And please know you're always welcome to give us a call when there's an issue that you want to share with the public, Andy. Congratulations on your election, and keep up the good work.
Thank you very much, guys, and Terry as well, and gals. Have a great day.
You bet.
Thank you.
Andy Diaz, District 2 representative of the Peoria School Board. 70 degrees currently the temperature, and today is going to be a gorgeous day, sunny and warm, up to 86. We'll be right back after this message.
To every referee, umpire, and judge in high school sports, we want to say, we see you.
We see everything you do for us that goes unnoticed.
We see the positive role models that you are.
We see the way you get unfairly criticized just for doing your job.
The truth is, we couldn't play without you.
So thank you for investing your time in us.
Thank you for protecting the integrity of the game, no matter what.
We hope you always know how much we appreciate you.
Because without you, this is just recess. It's not really a game.
Thank you for always making it possible for us to play the sports we love.
Want to serve the students in your community? Sign up to become an official at highschoolofficials.com.
And that's a good message. Hey, you know, we've got resumption of the big program over at the Morton Library, and they've skipped a weekend due to the July 4th activities and so forth. But what's happening this Friday, Terry?
This Friday, for the Groove in the Garden, is Next Thing Smokin'.
The what?
It's called Next Thing Smokin'.
Is that grilling?
No, this is a band.
Oh.
It's a high-energy country variety band.
Country?
Country, specializing in hits from the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. And, of course, the music starts at 6:30, but at 6 o'clock, the food trucks are there. And
what do we have this week?
Big Papa Jake's and the River City Sweets and Treats.
The Sweet and Treats, I understand. What is the other one? Pizza?
I don't know what Big Papa Jake's does. Okay. I'm not familiar
with that. Have you been able to attend any of these?
No.
I haven't either, and I want to because I hear nothing but positive feedback on the entertainment. But the quality of the entertainment has been outstanding, and the food, vendors that show up at each event has been outstanding, according to people who've been there.
Well, I got to go the 24th.
What's going on? July?
Yes. Vinyl Tap's going to be there, and that's my friend's band. So
it is what?
It's my friend's band. I would be in the doghouse if I don't go see them.
I'm in the doghouse now.
Yeah.
And it's all free, and they recommend that you bring your own,
Bring your own
lawn chairs and make a night of it.
Yep.
And it's parking is pretty adequate, I think. And if it isn't, too bad. You'll find a way to get there and enjoy it. And the Peoria Municipal Band, they are playing, are they not?
They're playing
Wednesday
Sunday night.
and also
Wednesday
Sunday?
at Kelleher's, as far as I know, and then Sunday is at the Glen Oak Band Shell.
And that's always Sunday evening,
Sunday
isn't
nights
it?
at 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. So it does raise the question, if the municipal band is playing 7 o'clock on a Sunday evening, they could have had their July 3rd fireworks. That's a different situation, Roger.
Different
Yeah.
situation.
But do you remember, because the Old Timers Baseball Association
Had the
used
snow
to
cones.
sell snow cones, exactly
You
right.
get a lot of money for the park district, I'm
did,
telling
yeah.
you. They went like hotcakes.
No, wait a minute. Did you do it for the Old Timers? Didn't that go in your pocket?
No,
Went to the
far as I
park
know,
district?
but-
Well, why were you guys doing
Well,
it
I
then?
think we might have got a little bit.
I would hope
Yeah,
so.
but no, it was, I think it was just a service that we provided.
No, okay. Well, who has the machine? The park district?
Park district machine,
Okay.
yeah. Mhm.
Um,
Well, I take that back.
yeah,
it
think
could-
about it.
could-
Jonathan Winters used to tell me when I was hesitant, he said, now think about it. Stop and think about it.
Yeah, I think it was the park district's machine.
And you
when
made
we-
it, what'd you sell the snow cones for? And you had different
$1.
flavors.
$1.
Oh, what a deal that
Yeah,
was.
$1. And they were good size. And we would give them whatever, if they wanted, some of the kids wanted what they called a rainbow.
A rainbow.
So you got a cherry, you got an orange, and you got a lime. One, a third. If they, and no, it was. I mean, there was at least 3 or 4 of us working from. I mean, some people came in at different times, but at least 3 or 4 people working all the time. You had to have somebody
Yeah.
doing the ice.
Yes.
And we had to go up and get more ice occasionally, or they'd bring it down.
Yeah,
to-
but didn't you have, did you make the ice?
Yes.
Or did somebody else?
It had to be.
On the scene?
Yeah, on the scene.
Yeah.
Kind of like what do they call those? Where it'd be a pressure deal where you push down
Yeah.
the handle and
Yeah.
it took the bag of ice and
shaved it or
shaved it in the smaller parts. Yeah. And I'll tell you who did that. That was his grandson that handled that part of it all the time.
Whose grandson?
Yeah, Quentin Yerby's.
Quint Yerby?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
His
Okay.
grandson. But then we had always a good crew there that would actually somebody'd have to make them, then somebody'd have to hand them to them and collect the
Yeah.
money and.
Well, I watched you guys when we went
it
and
was a
attended,
good business.
and you were having fun.
Oh,
I
we-
mean,
we knew
it
people.
was hard work.
We knew
but-
people and-
but
and-
yeah,
yeah, it was-
you're a people person.
And we were always situated to the right square, where you come down those stairs from the parking lot, that little parking lot that's right behind where the restrooms were. And we were right there, right in the center of the band shelter. I mean, back by the walkway around it, but a good location and my family would always go and then.
Make a night of it.
Once we sold out or everything was gone, or they started the fireworks, I'd go sit with the family and.
Did you make one for yourself or for your family?
Well, I'm sure.
I mean,
made one.
let's be honest here now.
Yeah,
It's a
probably
little,
one for the
little
family
deal
every
where
now
you
and
were
then, but
slipping
what
one
I
for
like,
yourself.
I think we did get from the park district, those that worked, we got a voucher to get a pork chop sandwich from was that the Kiwanis Club or one of the, down in one corner, they had pork chop sandwiches. Those were good.
those were very good.
No, the whole deal
That was a great deal, wasn't it?
Yes, I just think it as it grew. I mean, boy, you started about War Memorial Drive, and boy, I tell you, there was people that have, they
That's
were out
right.
there, and all the way down, down by where the
Down
lagoon
by,
is and
by
all,
the lagoon, yeah.
down to Woodruff. down to Woodruff.
On Abington.
Yeah, right, going down the hill there, right.
You know, I meant to ask you, we had a wonderful conversation with Robert Johnson, who is going to run for re-election as president of the Peoria Park District Trustees. And he indicated the plans are still to update the amphitheater, which is a good news, exciting news.
Definitely.
And they want to update the lagoon.
Yeah.
And I said, you know, you need to go back to the days when you had ice skating on the lagoon. I mean, it was
I bet you went along with that too.
And
He's
I don't know, did he? You were Terry.
Well,
Terry,
They glossed over the ice skating part of it.
yeah. I
Yeah.
think part of it is they have a pay place over on. And anyway, I'd like to mention while you just brought it up, there will be a meeting tonight with the Park District at Owens Recreational Center at 5:30 regarding renovations to the Rodell Owens Recreational Center, which houses those two ice sheets over there. And they're doing what the Civic Center should have did a number of years ago.
Yeah.
They need those renovations with the ice plant and with the locker rooms, and they're talking about even putting more seating in to the second rink.
Yeah, I want to commend you. I don't know whether you're unprivileged or not, but I could not remember for the life of me when we were talking with Robert Johnson, Owen's first name, but you
Rodell.
did it. Rodell, Rhodell. Am I right on that?
I posted on Facebook the other day.
You did.
And
He was
I didn't have
superintendent.
the H in there, and it didn't look right.
Yeah.
So I went to my source, my writer, Mrs. Olson.
Yes.
And she said, no, it's got to be an H. She looked it up.
Rhodell. Right.
You know,
He was superintendent,
He was the executive director of the Park District.
like Bonnie Noble was.
Bonnie Noble was, at the end, was his president of the board. And she worked that
you're
job
right.
into.
Yeah, exactly,
But-
which is very unusual.
But Robert, I heard Robert on your program, and
Yeah.
he gave Rodell a lot of credit, because when
Yeah.
he got on the board in I want to say, did he say 59? No, I don't think that's quite right. But whatever it was, maybe 95. I was probably just like,
Then he said like 37 years.
yeah, so we're probably talking in the 90s. And he gave Rodell credit that Rodell met with him and kind of laid the groundwork of what they wanted to do. But he mentioned also there was 225,000 people that went through that ice rink last year. See,
You're
you know,
kidding.
it's like anything
Wow.
in life, guys. If you're not involved in something, you really don't know.
You don't know.
You
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
Look at the years you spent on the county board. You know more about the county board than probably some of the people on the county board. And I'm not just trying to blow smoke up here.
Well, go ahead and blow smoke. I love it.
But you know what I'm saying is
Yes,
the experience is what
Yeah.
we learn from.
That's
and-
exactly right.
And but he credits, and I remember when we first moved here, and Rodell was the early one that had an artificial ice sheet, freezing sheet at Lakeview where you could skate.
Yeah.
Well before a lot of other places had it around here.
Okay, good. All right, we continue Breakfast with Roger and Friends on WAZU FM 90.7 in Peoria, also on YouTube at Roger and Friends LS. Stay tuned. News, weather, sports next. Good to see everybody's bright, smiling face in the audience. So happy to see everyone. And let's begin with a check of the weather brought to you by insurance specialist Kyle Barnum. Mr. Weather. Kyle, available to answer your insurance questions about homeowners, car, auto, truck, vehicle, motorcycle, scooters, you name it, plus health and life coverage. You can get more information from Kyle at 309-682-0519. Let's start talking about the Illinois River. The flood warning continues with the river reaching flood stage by tomorrow. Today. They say today, 18.3 feet. Just got that word. The river expected to rise to 19.3 feet by tomorrow afternoon, then start receding like my hairline. many years ago, below flood stage late Sunday morning. Here's today's live weather forecast. Sunny and warm, 86 the high, tonight's low 67. Tomorrow sunny and 88. Thursday partly sunny, but look for afternoon showers and thunderstorms that will continue Thursday night. More showers and thunderstorms on Friday, probably in the afternoon. Currently 71 degrees. That's our temperature. Now the news. Teri Chamberlain, what do you have?
Millions of Americans and others around the world were glued to their TV sets last night watching the World Cup soccer game between the United States and Belgium. Well-known sports coach Mike Olson has the game results and details.
Sure. U.S. loses 4-1 to Belgium. Tillman scores early goal for the U.S. Unfortunately, we tied it up, but then all of a sudden we gave up a goal 2 minutes later to go down 2-1, and then our goaltender made a grave mistake leaving the goal outside the box area, and they got a goal to basically almost seal the deal at that time. So,
all right,
we'll
unfortunately, the contest became controversial because President Trump appealed to the president of the International Federation of Association Football for a review of the suspension of the Team's USA top player. The review held, and the star striker was reinstated for last night's key match.
The decision angered Trump haters, who instead of cheering the reinstatement of soccer star Folarin Balogun, turned against the USA team and the president. They preferred criticism of Trump rather than acknowledge the bad decision made by Brazilian referee Rafael Claus. Claus was investigated in his home country regarding match fixing and betting accusations.
President Trump cheered at the White House as he rang the opening bell for the New York Stock Exchange yesterday morning during a special Oval Office ceremony celebrating the national rollout of the Trump accounts.
The new savings program provides a $1,000 government deposit for children born between January 1st, 2025 and December 31st, 2028. The money is immediately invested into an index fund. Parents, guardians, and relatives can contribute up to $5,000 per year. The account is held entirely in the child's name, with the parent or legal guardian serving as the sole custodian until the child reaches age 18. That's when the funds can be withdrawn. The interest rate each year could range between 6 and 10%.
Bad news for Maine Senate Democrat nominee Graham Plattner. A woman has accused him of rape after he allegedly entered her home and attacked her. The details she outlined has caused many of his supporters of fleeing like mice on the Titanic. Among those who called for Plattner to drop out of the race, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and California Representative Ro Khanna.
Sunny Hostin, who sits on the ABC program The View, said yesterday she feels unsafe and uncomfortable when she enters a neighborhood where families are flying the American flag. You may recall the controversial Democrat was a guest at this year's Martin Luther King luncheon at the Civic Center. She typically receives between $50,000 to $100,000 for appearances and earns around $2 million a year from ABC for attacking President Trump and Republicans.
The July 4th weekend brought violence to Raleigh, North Carolina, thanks to rioting by up to 10,000. Can you believe that? That's amazing. 10,000 teenagers. That's terrible. 5,000 of those teens took over Briar Creek, and another 5,000 ran rampant in Glenwood South, two different areas of the city of Raleigh. Up to 6 people wounded by gunfire. The mayor is considering imposing a curfew. My Lord! Good for him, I guess.
It's a no-brainer. In local news, Peoria police have arrested 47-year-old Sammy Wright Jr., charging him with aggravated battery to a child. In this case, a 6-year-old. He was babysitting along with a 3-year-old. Thanks to a woman who notified officers of the possible child assault, the child was taken to a local hospital where an examination revealed numerous injuries, leading to Wright's arrest. A judge has ordered Wright to remain behind bars until his trial.
East Peoria officials joined Pekin in saying no to data centers. Mayor John Call said there will be no data center or a solar farm on land the city recently purchased at a cost of $5.2 million. The plot of land, once owned by the Kyle Bly family, is near property owned by Illinois Central College on the south side of Route 24. The mayor apparently responding to fears and rumors of a possible location of a data center in that area. No way, he said.
The Peoria Journal is reporting District 150 has hired Shamar Hill as the new Peoria High School girls basketball coach. She graduated from Peoria Central in 2012 and replaces Michi Edwards, who did the coaching at the high school for 28 seasons, starting with the boys team for 9 years.
And that's a look at some of the stories we're following. Now, news from WCBU this morning. You know, the people of Central Illinois are blessed with outstanding medical facilities and health specialists. One of these is Advanced Medical Transport of Central Illinois, caring for people with the best health professionals. More than 500 AMT men and women serving you and your family. Saving lives is what they do.
From the WCBU Newsroom, I'm Rich Drager. Illinois is imposing tighter state regulations on artificial intelligence companies. The law Governor J.B. Pritzker has enacted will make AI companies disclose safety practices and report significant safety incidents to the public.
Look, this is not about punishing businesses or stifling the potential of this technology. Quite the opposite. It's simply about addressing some of the dangers that AI can pose.
The law is designed to safeguard the public against any AI system that might cause physical or financial harm. Illinois has added a new state agency to oversee a variety of programs for infants, toddlers, and their families. Capital News Illinois reports the Department of Early Childhood was established in 2024 and was given 2 years to hire staff and take over what had been 3 separate state departments. Secretary Teresa Ramos says there's a precedent for this.
It's incredibly exciting because it's something that we haven't done before in Illinois. Other states have done it, and we have been really intentional about connecting and learning from them.
Ramos says the new department has a staff of about 500. The top Democrat in the Illinois House says a former lawmaker from the far southwest suburbs engaged in legislative misconduct. House Speaker Emanuel Chris Welch called on former State Representative Harry Benton to resign after viewing a report by the General Assembly's ethics watchdog. Welch says that report substantiated, quote, outrageous, unethical, and unprofessional behavior by Benton. The Plainfield Democrat stepped down last Friday. The senior senator from Illinois says he does not share fears of some fellow Democrats that party fights between centrists and Democratic socialists will hurt them in the November election. Dick Durbin spoke to reporters in central Illinois.
I'm not looking for a ceasefire. I'm looking for an effort to have a real primary.
Durbin says contesting differences is healthy.
And I think that we can embrace the entire spectrum of political thinking in our party and still win the election.
In contrast, Durbin says President Trump tolerates no dissent by fellow Republicans. I'm Rich Drager.
Rich, you forgot to talk about Plattner in that interview with the senator. That might have been helpful. At any rate, let's get into the world of sports. Here's Mike Olson, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Roger. Like mentioned earlier, the U.S. was eliminated from the World Cup yesterday with a 4-1 loss to Belgium. Tillman did score for the U.S. Goaltender makes a big mistake in a 2-1 game, comes out of the net too far and allows Belgium to get an empty net goal. Defense also had some lapses, including a lapse on the 4th goal and the deciding goal that ended the season or the tournament for the U.S. team. They represented the United States, I thought, very well, but came up a little short and of what a lot of people thought might be the year for the U.S., but they'll regroup, and I think we'll have, continued growth in the soccer in our area and in the country, and produce soccer players that will one day bring the World Cup to the United States. Major League Baseball yesterday, the Milwaukee Brewers are still hot. They defeat the Cardinals 4-3 in the first of a 5-game series in the Lou. Today and tonight, the Brewers and Cardinals will play. 1:15 will be the day game of the day-night doubleheader, and I assume the night game will be probably around 7 o'clock. Cubs at the Orioles tonight at 5:35. Boston Red Sox at the White Sox at 6:40. White Sox are still leading the American League Central Division. The Cubs are 6 games behind the Brewers in the NL Central. Men's Wimbledon action. American Taylor Fritz defeated Alexander Bublik in straight sets yesterday to move on in the Wimbledon match. Most talked about match of the day saw Britain's wild card player Arthur Ferry defeat Grigor Dimitrov in 5 sets. Today's matches see Sinner playing Struff and Djokovic in a match against, his name is Auger Aliassime. On the women's side, 2 American women lost yesterday. Madison Keys lost, and Ashlyn Kruger lost. Today, the 2 remaining American women will play each other in the round of 16. Number 4, Jessica Pegula, and number 7, Coco Gauff, the rankings, will face each other in the women's action today. And that's sports on WAZU 90.7 FM in lovely Peoria, Illinois.
There you have it, Mike Olson. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. You know, we were talking about, or you brought up the Wimbledon, and I occasionally will watch it. I get caught up in some of the tennis matches, and
Sure.
And sometimes one thing that I could never understand, and this goes back years and years ago, when you think about Rod Laver and Jimmy Connors and John McEnroe and so forth. The grunt
Billie
and
Joe
groaning.
King probably.
Billie Joe King, Martina
Navratilova.
Yeah, okay, I'll take your word.
Something like that.
Navratilova, yeah. Anyway, the groans and moans that the players, both male and female, I guess they grow up doing that when they stroke at the ball.
Yeah, I don't know if if they think it gives them a little bit more momentum on the shot, or
yeah.
you know, kind of like when you karate shot.
Yeah.
You know.
For 10 points, can any of you, and I'll start because I can only remember one name, any of you remember who were the local outstanding tennis players? Because the Journal Star used to sponsor a big tournament at Glen Oak Park.
Were the Disharoon kids big into tennis?
Yeah.
John's
Well,
son and daughter?
at Richwoods High School, I don't know.
Dunlap. At Dunlap.
They were at Dunlap.
Dunlap, yeah.
At Dunlap? was it?
Disharoon's
Okay, yeah.
daughter was state ranked, yes.
State ranked?
Oh, she went to the state finals a couple times, yes.
My name is Dave Holden.
Dave Holden was very good.
Yeah.
And he was from
Because he was
Peoria
Peoria
High School.
Yeah, the son of Dr. Holden. I'm trying to think what
And then there
Dr.
was,
Holden.
what about Ellison Tim?
Tim, there you
was-
go. Yeah.
yeah.
That's a good name.
Yeah, and then we had there was I'm missing some. Well, you know, Pete Bardasbanian's daughter, I believe her name was Lorraine Bardasbanian. She
played tennis.
She played tennis, and I think she won the at least the upper girls age bracket a couple times when she was going to Manual High School.
You know, it is so sad when you look at what has happened to our newspaper.
Oh.
Our newspaper was riding high at one time. It had the morning, which was the Peoria Journal Star, and the afternoon was the Peoria Journal Transcript.
Yeah.
And and many people took both. My parents took the Star in the morning and took the Transcript in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Some people just took the morning. And some people just took the afternoon edition. But that place was alive and well. I remember when it was in downtown Peoria, I believe on South Madison Street, between Main and Fulton Street. Alive and well. It sponsored many of the baseball teams of all ages during the summer.
Lefty Tyler.
Lefty Tyler. 10 points. What was his first name?
Oh boy.
No, boy, it's not an answer.
No.
It starts with the letter H.
Harold.
Howard.
Howard
Lefty Tyler.
Howard Lefty Tyler.
Bald as a bowling ball at Landmark.
And he would be down at Bradley Park every night during the summer.
Yeah, I told the story
I
how
played and then I umpired a little bit.
Yeah, I ditto. Exactly right. A nice guy and very close to my father. They were good friends. But I have such fond memories of. Where were you raised, Terry, as a child? Where did you live?
Over there until I was 11, we lived there on Richwood, right off of Prospect, behind the gas station.
Not far from Glen Oak Park.
No, quite a few blocks down to the park.
Yeah.
We were closer to the root beer stand and the Tasty Freeze.
The
A&W, I love
Miracle Mart,
A&W
John
there.
B's grocery store, because I could walk.
John B.
I could walk all those
And then
places.
there was an ice cream place there too.
The Tasty Freeze.
Tasty Freeze, yeah.
Where was the Tasty Freeze?
It was.
Okay, you know where Prospect Florist
Yep.
and Rokers is?
Yes.
Okay, that's the block between Fair Oaks and Tripp. And then you went across the alley, and the Tasty Freeze is right there at the end of Tripp
Yeah.
on Prospect.
My daughter actually worked there for a while. Yeah.
Oh,
How
my
about
goodness.
How about the Miracle Mart?
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
that
I
was
went
then
there.
right across the street. That was,
Yeah.
How
you went
about
across
Emos?
the Trip.
Emos?
Emos
Yeah.
was that was a
Yeah.
long walk up to Emos.
Yeah, that was a. Anyway, the point is that Glen Oak Park was the center of activity, and one of the exciting things that I really enjoyed was going up, and I used to walk from my house in the 2900 block of Madison. I'd go up Vine Street, and we had a wooded area between. I'm trying to think of the street that ran from Rock Island over to Perry. I forget what and there were two houses at the top of the hill, one on each side of the hill, and that hill eventually was graded down by Turniples under R.G. Letourneau, who wanted a runway built along the Letourneau plant because he lived in Oklahoma and would fly up, and instead of flying at the airport, he wanted to land by by his company.
Jump out of the plane and go to work.
And they did. They worked 24/7. You'd hear the Turniples all night scraping the dirt and rolling down Park Avenue to the Letourneau Company. And in the beginning, it was R.G. Letourneau, and then it became, I think, R.G. Letourneau Westinghouse, and then became Komatsu, which is what it is right now, still in the earth-moving machinery. But I would walk all the way from my house up to Glen Oak Park, and you could sit, no charge, and watch the monkeys in the monkey cage, which was on the hill above the lagoon. And in the wintertime, the lagoon would freeze, and you could ice skate free.
Right, and they had a changing shed, and I think they had some hot chocolate.
Exactly. So you remember that.
Well,
How old were you when
it was still going. We moved here in the early '60s, '63 to be exact.
Yeah.
And 63 years ago, and I remember going skating at the lagoon.
Yeah, and it was fun, and they, like you said, it had a warming
And it was social.
building.
It was social.
Yeah.
You could see some of the young ladies that you might be interested in. And I
Well,
know I did. You know.
I told the story. Dorothy Smith, she was a cutie. The Smith sisters. Joyce was in my class, and Dorothy was younger, and Dorothy could skate. And I said, "Can I skate with you?" And she said, "Yeah." I said, "I can't skate backwards, so do you mind if I skate?" She said, "No." And I was doing okay until some kid cut in front of us, and I couldn't stop her quick enough, and she fell over the kid, hit her head on the ice.
Oh, my Lord.
And I helped her.
You're done, Roger.
Yeah,
you better move on.
That was the end of that romance.
Ended abruptly.
Yeah,
on the ice.
Went on
ice.
After that, I got the cold shoulder.
Big time. Big time.
But we talked. You may recall, Terry, with Robert Johnson about reinstalling that activity. Yeah. And
my grandpa used to take me there to the lagoon to go ice skating when I was a little girl.
And you ice skated.
I did. I tried, but yeah.
Yeah, we all did. Yeah.
My dad bought me a pair of ice skates, but instead of buying hockey skates, he bought figure skates. So as a result, so that if you
never wore a pair of figure skates in my life.
Well, unfortunately, I had to. I didn't have any choice. Yeah. And the problem is it had a little jagged thing on the front of it
Yep.
And
Oh,
if
picks.
was that what they called?
Yeah, well,
if you didn't skate right,
oh, you'd hit that pick and
you'd hit that. Yeah.
Yep.
And that happened to me more than
it was
once.
a bad speed bump, I guarantee.
Yeah, it was. But it was such a neat activity.
Yeah.
And it was free. That was the good thing.
Yeah.
And you may recall, Bradley, they did the same thing. They
down
flooded the wading pool,
yeah.
down at Bradley Park.
I never
for
did
ice
get down
skating
there.
I went down there once, I think it was, and skated there.
In moving to Peoria in the early 60s, we went down, of course, for the Thanksgiving parade, and then also to see some of the stores downtown at Christmas time a little bit. But and maybe part of it was because I lived here 3 years, then I went back to Michigan in school for 4 years, in Ohio for a year, and then came back in the 70s. But when things were starting to slow down in a lot of these activities around here, and but it just I remember Sheridan Village was the place where we went.
Yeah.
The Richwood, there was a Sandy's that was across
the street.
Oh boy, you got good memory.
Oh boy, a guy by the name of Markowski
yep.
eventually took that over with Hardee's, and it was a place where you would see friends and classmates, and you have to admit again, you'd see some, maybe you were looking for a special girl or something, but it was. And the nice thing, you could get a hamburger for like what, 15 cents.
Oh, I know. And now it's like $7.
Well, you can't go to McDonald's for under $10 anymore.
I know it.
Get a meal. It's crazy.
Well, like I've said, I was in the mood for a hoagie the other day. I wanted one from Jersey Mike's so bad, and I just did not have $11 to spend on a sandwich.
Yeah, you can't. Well, even just I go to Ivani's and I get the half a gondola now. That's enough. And I think that's almost like $8-9 now,
Yeah.
You know what got me last week? I was in the mood to make stuffed green peppers.
There you go.
So I'd gotten some
Look at
free
that. Oh, I love
some free
that.
yellow peppers from a lady up there at Curves, and I needed one more. So I thought, I'll just go to Hy-Vee and pick up a green pepper. $1.48.
I was gonna say $2
for the one green pepper, and they weren't even real good sized.
Oh, really?
I said I refused to do that. So I went over to Walmart because I had to get some kitty litter, and it was 86 cents for a single green pepper, which is still, remember they used to be like a quarter.
If you go to a small corner like Alwyn's, it'll probably be close to $2 too.
No.
Well, I've been wanting to hit the farmer's market there at Metro Center, but I guess I'm always there too late in the afternoon, and they've already picked everything up and they're gone.
Everybody's picked everything up.
That's the best deal you can find, really.
Speaking of Sheridan Village,
put that on, Roger.
Maybe you remember this.
The station that's guaranteed to make you smile.
Now look, couldn't we just tell the folks how nice it is to Christmas shop at Sheridan Village?
Oh, no, this Christmas chorus costs us a lot of money. We gotta use them.
All right, but you better hurry. We only have 30 seconds.
Sing, chorus.
Christmas shopping at Sheridan Village is fun and easy too. Stores are open till 9 each night with loads of gifts for you. Parking is free and Santa you'll see. Start shopping right away at Sheridan Village Wonderland. Take your family out today.
I'll see, wasn't that pretty?
Yeah, but let's not use them next time. It's too long. I'm getting tired of being cut off. All right, now remember, we only have 30 seconds, and we have a special interview with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Oh, that's silly. Reindeer can't talk.
Yeah, you just wait till the chorus sings, and I'll show you one that can.
Christmas shopping at Sheridan Village is fun and easy too. Stores are open till 9 each night with loads of gifts for you. Parking is free and Santa you'll see. Start shopping right away at Sheridan Village Wonderland. Take your family out today.
All right, now where's this Rudolph? We're almost out of time.
Right here, and he can really talk. Rudolph, will you say a few words?
That's pretty good.
That's fun. You know what is neat about playing that? Of course, it's very nostalgic. And remember when Sheridan Village was alive and well and active and so forth. For 10 points, name as many stores as you can back in those days. Berners, of course.
Berners.
Yeah, that was the anchor.
Baker's Shoes, Fannie Mae.
Fannie Mae is
Cohen's Furniture.
Sheridan Bank.
Schratzky's, Kresge's.
Schratzky's was there?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember that.
Eventually, Brown's Sporting Goods was there in the 80s.
And you mentioned Kresge's.
Yep, Kresge's.
Klein's, I saw on the
Klein's is there.
commercial.
Yeah.
I don't remember Klein's, but they also had a store where my wife loved to shop, the Plantation.
That was much later.
Yes, it
much
was.
later.
That's
Yeah.
right.
But in the 60s.
It sounds like the Book Emporium was there.
Yeah, the Book Emporium was good.
And
You
later
could get
years,
cards there and
yeah,
that,
yeah. And later years, Radio Shack was down at the other end. And
What,
as you came around
was the
closer,
bank
Radio
there?
Shack,
Oh, the
yeah.
Sheridan Bank was.
Sheridan Bank,
Right
yeah.
around
Yeah,
that.
and that's where and Baskin Robbins. was-
Baskin Robbins, there you go.
Yeah.
It was the bank and then Baskin
Robbins.
Robbins, and then you made the turn.
And then you went on to what we called the side entrance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You remember
you-
Kresge's, you could come in on the front or
or
the
the
back, as well as Bergner's, the
Yep.
same thing.
Same deal.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. In fact, I got to the point where I went in the back to Bergner's more than I went in the front.
I did too, because it was just,
It
to
was-
me,
it
it was closer.
Quicker, yeah. Quicker,
Yep.
go to shorter distance.
But also, coming from the direction I did, I was just turned right off of Lake, and so it was just easy to go into.
The what?
I think it was called
There's a Scandia restaurant up
On the
on
second floor.
Second floor.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then down on the basement floor, didn't they have like popcorn and?
Well,
Yes.
they remember they opened Peanut Butter Heaven.
There you
and
go.
It was
Yeah.
right there.
you
That
go.
didn't go over well, though,
That
did
didn't
it?
go quite
Yeah.
as well. I didn't
Oh, I remember being there for a couple years.
Yeah,
You get
okay. Yeah, and they also had cards in the basement as well.
And they had some
Greeting
sporting
cards.
goods down there too at the end.
Those were such
Such good days.
You're listening to Breakfast with Roger and Friends, setting the pace for Peoria Radio on WAZU FM 90.7. Also on YouTube around the world at Roger and Friends LS. More news, more weather, more sports, more laughs, more fun, and less commercials. How about check of the news as we wrap things up? And our news this morning brought to you by Spoon River Home Health. Since 1993, providing home health care by nurses, therapists, and home care assistants. Locally owned and operated, Spoon River Home Health, available 24/7 at 245-0723. Here's Terry.
Well, let's start with the bad news. Belgium defeated the USA in the FIFA World Cup competition last night. The final score, Belgium 4, United States 1. But they had a good run. President Trump was cheered at the White House as he rang the opening bell for the New York Stock Exchange yesterday morning during a special Oval Office ceremony celebrating the national rollout of the Trump accounts. The new savings program provides a $1,000 government deposit for children born between January 1st, 2025 and December 31st, 2028. Bad news for Maine Senate Democrat nominee Graham Plattner. A woman has accused Plattner of rape after he entered her home. The details she outlined of the attack have caused many of his supporters to flee like mice leaving the Titanic. Among those who called for Plattner to drop out of the race against Republican Susan Collins, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and California Representative Ro Khanna. In local news, Peoria police have arrested 47-year-old Sammy Wright Jr., charging him with aggravated battery to a child. In this case, a 6-year-old he was babysitting, along with a 3-year-old. Thanks to a woman who notified officers of the possible child assault, the child was taken to a local hospital where an examination revealed numerous injuries, leading to Wright's arrest. A judge has ordered Wright to remain behind bars until his trial. East Peoria officials joined Pekin in saying no to data centers. Mayor John Call said there will be no data center or solar farm on land the city recently purchased at a cost of $5.2 million. The plot of land, once owned by the Kyle Bly family, is near property owned by Illinois Central College on the south side of Route 24. The mayor was apparently responding to fears and rumors of a possible data center. And those are the headlines, Roger.
All right, thank you kindly. You know, we're going to talk about the weather here very shortly. And the weather is improving, boy, is it. And so does the interest in looking at perhaps making a change where you live. This is a good time to start looking at your next home, and a good time to contact Kathy Reynolds of Home Smart. She's available to help you in your search, and you can reach her today at 309-696-2162. Kathy Reynolds of Home Smart at 696-2162. Well, it is going to be, and it's a gorgeous morning. We're up to 73 degrees, by the way. It'll be sunny, and the high today 86, tonight's low 67. Tomorrow sunny and 88, and Thursday partly sunny, but look for afternoon showers on Thursday and Thursday night. More showers on Friday, probably coming around Friday afternoon, 1 to 2 o'clock. Currently, as we say, 73 degrees, and that's a check of the weather this morning. You know, I can't go any further before the end of the show to repeat something that we've talked about on this program. I won't say ad nauseum, but it's getting irritating to have to remind people, think about who you're leaving your kids with. Here we have a guy who was tying up this 6-year-old child. The child had rope burns, cuts, lacerations, bruises, and so forth. And the question is, the mother of that child, and I guess the 3-year-old was the adult's
his own kid.
Yeah, his own kid.
Yeah.
But he wasn't mistreating the 3-year-old apparently, but we don't know that.
We don't know that.
Yeah,
right?
because the 3-year-old probably scared to death of saying anything. But this guy, 47-year-old Sammy Wright Jr., and he's innocent until proven guilty. But that doesn't stop us from speculating that if he is found guilty, I wonder if our laws and our judges and our courts are being too soft on these people. Because when you take an adult that physically abuses, and when he's physically abusing, they also are emotionally and mentally abusing them as well.
Sure. I mean,
You don't beat a kid up and not have it affect their
I call it
their
lasting
thoughts.
effects.
Yes.
Definite.
And we seem to have too many of these. We've had that child that was down to 40 pounds, and I don't even like to think about it. I know just from my experience and your experience that there were others who knew what was happening to that child and said nothing. And I hope they take that memory and it haunts them until the day
They die.
They die.
I agree.
The mother of the 6-year-old was not the one who blew the whistle.
No, you have a neighbor.
And exactly. And the neighbor deserves a medal. I just don't understand the mentality of people who know those sort of things and take the position, I don't want to get involved.
Yeah. Or like my feeling is that a man that does this, for a woman that probably can't afford child care and is involved with the woman to some degree, obviously.
Yes,
Even if it's totally above board, but usually it's what's the word they use these, kind of reward for services or something, I know there's a certain name.
Yeah, let's not go there.
They use now if you want to be involved with that type of relationship. It's just, he does it, but he's probably, and then you got the element of how many of these people are drinking while they're doing this too, and
or worse,
drugs.
I commend the judge who ruled that he must stay in jail until his trial.
Oh, definitely.
Because you know what well, I won't speculate on that. I'll let listeners and viewers speculate on their own. But we're just seeing, and how many are going unreported? And we know
probably 7 or 8 more for every one that gets reported.
Yeah, and part of the blame, in a way, I have to say, Lord made having children too easy. Lord, did you know what you were doing when you made male and female? Because raising children is not easy.
No,
having children is easy, except for the woman when she gives birth. That's no honeymoon, to say the least. But it can be frustrating, it can be challenging, and not everybody is suited to raise children.
No, they are not.
And I just...
And then you run into the case, like I said, I think if I heard it right and you said it, the 3-year-old was the man that basically assaulted the 6-year-old. The 3-year-old was the son of the gentleman.
Right, yeah.
Or the
That was his,
6-year-old
that was his child.
The 6-year-old, in my opinion, was probably hers. I don't know that, but why would he?
Well, it wasn't, yeah.
Or it could be a niece, nephew.
Right,
Yeah.
but again, to me, there's a difference too. If it's not yours, a little bit.
For some people, yes.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are just the opposite.
But again, the argument we hear about accessory to a crime.
Yeah.
We've had kids go to jail, go to prison for not pulling the trigger, but being there when the trigger was pulled.
Yeah.
Why not have the Department of Children and Family Services hold a hearing to possibly take away that 6-year-old child from the mother who had to know you can't ignore the bruises. I mean, I've got a laceration in my right hand, and you got a bruise on your hand. These children, this child had to have, because went to the hospital ER, and the doctors concluded, hey, all of these lacerations, bruises, cuts, whatever.
This is not just a fall. He was playing in the backyard. Yeah.
At any rate,
and they see too much of it, so they know what exactly.
And society needs to be outraged by this. It's happening too often in Peoria, and I'm sure in other communities as well.
All over the world.
Well, let's, I was going to say, in many families, I suspect we care more for our pets sometimes than other members of the family. But anyway, here's our pet tip of the day.
Today's pet tip is brought to you by Peoria Pet Crematory of Peoria and Lewiston, providing final care for family pets, large and small, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Their phone number is 713-1898. That's 713-1898. More information is available at peoriapetcrematory.com.
Pet lovers are dedicated to their animals, all species from horses to turtles and of course cats and dogs. If you are a pet lover, learn these little known, somewhat amazing facts about your pet. A very unique and beautiful member of the horse family is the zebra. Zebras are considered the only true wild horses in the world today. Though much like the horse, the zebra's stripes make them very different. If you look closely, you will notice that they have long faces, big eyes, smaller hooves, stiffer manes, and are shorter than the common horse. Also, their ears are longer. At first glance, zebras in a herd might all look alike, but their stripe patterns are as distinctive as fingerprints in humans. Scientists can identify individual zebras by comparing patterns, stripe widths, color, and scars. One more interesting fact, their stripes are not just in their hair. It is believed that their skin is actually striped as well. All foals have a close association with their mothers. The male foals are close to the fathers. The males will leave their birth herd on their own accord between the ages of only 1 and 4 years to join an all-male bachelor group until they are strong enough to head a family of their own. The lifespan of a zebra in captivity can be 40 years. Exotic animals, however, should not be kept as pets. Their care is very specialized and expensive, so please enjoy them in the wildlife parks and zoos. This whisker of information has been made possible by a grant from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting in partnership with Spot, Saving Pets One at a Time, and KSBR Studios. Produced by Joseph C. McGuire and theme music by Stuardo Glasser.
Today's pet tip has been brought to you by Peoria Pet Crematory of Peoria and Lewiston, providing final care for family pets, large and small, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Their phone number is 713-1898. 713-1898. That's 713-1898. More information is available at peoriapetcrematory.com.
Okay, that's enough of that kind of music. That's our bumper music. All right, you ready for the quiz this morning? The Tuesday morning quiz. I think you'll have a little fun. Put your thinking caps on. And we begin with, what TV title character called his 1966 Chevy Blue Ghost?
Would that be Beretta?
Beretta is correct. Wow.
Sharper than a tack.
Who was the last, and I know you were there, Terry, who was, and I know you'll get it, I don't think Mike was there, who was the last act at Woodstock?
I was not there.
I was not
No,
there.
I didn't think you would be. By the way, you know, I just heard a rumor, maybe it wasn't a rumor, maybe someone mentioned it on the show, that, you know, the annual drug fest, or whatever they called it, the Three Sisters, is gone. But apparently someone is resurrecting the idea also in Chillicothe. Have you heard that?
Well,
They went somewhere last year, didn't they? Or
well, okay, two different things. Kyle was talking about it yesterday, that up there at Three
I
Sisters
knew
Park,
someone had
they're
on the
going
show.
to try and, I forget what the event's called, but they want to make it eventually the Heart of Illinois Fair. I mean,
That's it,
replicating
yes,
this Heart of
yeah.
Illinois Fair is going to be up there at Three Sisters Park. And I think it's sometime this month. Kyle, if you're listening, you could resend me the
Let
dates.
us know for sure.
But I'm sure we can. We'll hear about it on Friday.
I think they tried to put it somewhere last year too, and it got canceled.
It got canceled.
It wasn't going over.
Yep.
Yeah, when you tell you when you
Shoot, what was
stop
that
something,
called?
it's not easy to restart it because it takes somebody with some, you know, basically wherewithal.
Well, I'd like to see something during the summer happen, because we sure miss the Heart of Illinois Fair. Anyway, back to the question, who was the last act of Woodstock?
Was that in the late '60s, if I'm not mistaken? Woodstock?
I'll say the Who.
No. It was a single
Oh, a
guy.
single.
Yeah.
Bob Dylan.
You're close, I guess. Did we talk about this guy yesterday?
Well, that would be Jim Morrison.
No.
But he was with
Well,
the
you
Doors.
you got the right one name right.
Jim.
Jim?
Mm-hmm.
Jim Brown? No,
No.
he went as James Brown.
Jimmy Brown.
Last name starts with the letter H.
Jimi Hendrix?
Yes. Very good. All right, next question. What city did John F. Kennedy and Nikita Khrushchev confer in on June 3rd, 1961?
Stockholm, Sweden.
Well, you got the right idea, because it was in Europe.
Yeah, it was not on our soil. I remember that's why. That's the first thing.
And I got to, thanks to Uncle Sam, to visit the city. Beautiful city, beautiful palaces, beautiful people, beautiful country.
Copenhagen?
Wrong part of Europe.
Oh.
Geneva.
What'd you say?
Geneva, Switzerland.
Good guess, incorrect.
Okay. Paris.
Wrong country.
Germany?
Why don't you start with the country? Yes,
Germany?
No.
No.
England.
No.
France. No.
No. Not the Baltic states. Yeah, I think you've named just about every country except the country that it was
Italy?
in.
Okay.
What was it?
Italy.
Italy? No.
Austria?
There you go.
Austria.
So what was the city?
Vienna?
Vienna is right. Or Vienna if you're ordering
From
hot dogs.
Southern Illinois, it's Vienna. But
Yeah. What was the other city? Vienna. I mentioned that I had spent some time in West Berlin, my first, when the troop ship arrived in Bremerhaven. Then I got on a train that went through East Germany to West Berlin. And then I started working at a radio station in Jacksonville, WJIL, and I mentioned New Berlin. And the farmer called and said, "You're new to the area, aren't you?" I said, "Yes." "Why you asked?" He said, "That's New Berlin."
It's Berlin.
Berlin.
Yes.
They didn't want any connection to Berlin in any way, shape, or form. What member of the Warren Commission wrote Portrait of the Assassin?
I don't know.
Okay, I'll give you a clue. He wound up as president.
Richard Nixon.
Think automobile.
Gerald Ford?
Yes. I didn't know that.
That popped in my head, but I thought I can't see him doing that. But okay.
Who was Dr. George Nikolopoulos' most prominent pill-popping patient?
Marilyn Monroe.
Timothy Leary?
No.
Michael Jackson?
No.
Oh, this is baby boomers.
This
Elvis
is gonna-
Presley.
Male or male?
What?
Elvis Presley.
Elvis Presley is right. Whose first disc was That's All Right, Mom, with the flip side, Blue Moon of Kentucky?
Ooh. I like Blue Moon ice cream.
Yeah, that is good ice cream, yeah.
Oh, man.
Elvis again?
Elvis again. Actually, his name is Presley, not Elvis.
That's All Right, Mama.
Yes. Do you remember that song?
Oh, Blue Moon.
That's All Right, Mom?
That's All Right, Mama. Are you sure it's Mom or not Mama?
Well, it says That's All Right, Mom. I don't know. You know what? I need to check that out. In the meantime, we'll pause for this message.
The Illinois Emergency Management Agency presents actress Marion Ross as Marion.
You sure you're ready?
I'm ready.
Because it's not hard to be ready.
That's why I'm ready.
Really, really ready?
Yes, Marion. My company has a business emergency plan in place in case of a disaster.
Good. You're one of the biggest companies in town. A lot of small businesses depend on you.
Well, we have a plan and emergency supplies.
Water?
Check.
Food?
Check.
Flashlights and battery-operated radio?
Check and check. This business of mine could not be more ready.
Excellent, dear.
We are ready.
And your vendors and suppliers also have emergency plans in place?
What?
If the companies you rely on aren't prepared, think how long it could take you to get your business back up and running.
Yeah, I guess I could be a little more ready.
What, dear?
I said I guess I could be a little more ready.
That a boy.
For more, visit ready.illinois.gov to find out how to make your business emergency ready. Sponsored by the Illinois Emergency Management Agency. And don't forget to check out ready.illinois.gov on Facebook and Twitter.
That's a good idea. Weatherwise, we'll tell you sunny and warm today with a high of 86. And right now, our temperature at 73 degrees is going to be a gorgeous day. What did you find out about
It was 1950.
That's All Right, Mom?
It's actually called That's All Right, and then in parentheses is Mama.
It is
and
Mama.
It was released in 1956.
1956. He was just getting started then.
Yeah, he actually recorded it in 1954.
Yes, he was.
I'm trying to think, what year was he in Germany in the U.S. Army?
Well, didn't you say you just missed him at the one place? So would he have been in like 56 through 58 maybe?
That's what I think.
I would say 58 or 59.
Let's see.
That's what I remember as a 10-year-old.
We'll do
I'm trying to think.
Elvis's
The girls were taking
Army.
it real hard in the United States. I know that.
Well, let's see if
Elvis in the Army. Oh, I was to 58 to 60.
Well, that's all right, Mama. That's all right for you. That's all right, Mama. Just any way you do, that's all right. That's all right. That's all right, Mama. Any way you do. Well, she done told me, Papa done told me too. Son, that gal you fooling with, she ain't no good for you. That's all right. That's all right.
were short. That only lasts 1 minute and 58 seconds. And now some of the recordings are 4 and 5 and maybe even 7 minutes. What do you
guys
have?
Breaking news.
Yeah.
This Sunday, the first class stamp will be going from 78 cents to 82 cents.
Are you kidding me?
So that's much more that
tell
they
you,
can
this
lose
thing-
our mail.
Yeah.
At one time, I used to send out over 100 Christmas cards.
Yeah.
I can't do that anymore.
You can't, because you know what? You have the cost of the card.
Yeah.
You have the cost of the stamp.
Yeah.
And
And the time doing
the
it.
time doing, yeah.
But
Well done.
I didn't mind the time so much, but
I didn't either.
But I mean, when it was 30 cents or something, it wasn't. God, at one time wasn't it 5 cents?
Yeah.
Oh, I've got old envelopes and that from
God, you could do a postcard for
3
like
cents.
two or 3 cents, yeah.
Yep.
But no, they're just.
Yeah. Okay. We have a couple of other questions before we wrap things. What was the theme music for the Green Hornet?
Oh, Flight of the Bumblebee.
Flight of the Bumblebee, right. What state was Sam Ervin elected to the U.S. Senate from? Ooh, boy.
Texas?
No.
Is it down south?
No. Southeast.
Southeast. Mississippi?
I wouldn't call that southeast, would you? It'd be south. Anyway, go more east and put it that way.
Georgia?
You go even further.
North Carolina?
That is correct. What queen of tasteful vulgarity, and I would question whether that's accurate, what queen of tasteful vulgarity described herself as the last of the truly tacky ladies?
None of those. Many of those tacky ladies.
I'm not a big fan of her, but she's
Joan
a singer.
Rivers?
She is a singer, and I believe she recorded the song. She was in a
Tacky
with
lady.
Jane Fonda, a movie, I think. She recorded the song From the Distance.
Bette Midler.
Bette Midler, yeah. I thought I remembered that right. What does Peppermint Patty continually do in class in Peanuts?
She falls asleep?
Yes, good. You know these things. That's amazing. Who composed Mood Indigo and Don't Get Around Much Anymore? One of my great
composers.
I'm a fan of this band leader.
Well, that was Les Elgard, but I don't think
No, it wasn't Les.
he didn't compose
Yeah.
that. Ben Miller?
No. Jump in anytime, Mike. Think of a band.
Did you think I lost my voice for the last 10 minutes?
Think of a band in the 40s.
Did you say Les Elgart?
Yep.
That's how I remember that one. I remember that now that you said it.
His first name is a title, a royalty title.
Duke Ellington?
Duke Ellington is right. Hey, nice going, ladies.
Well,
and
somebody's
gentlemen.
been ringing the bell for it. It's me.
Yeah, there we go.
I ring the bell.
Hey, let's
She
wrap
gives the
things up.
answer.
Hey, everybody, thanks for being a part. Tomorrow, our special guest, and not really a guest, staff member, Peoria Attorney Kevin Sullen, will be with us.
Yep.
Thank you, Mike, as always. And,
you're
of course,
welcome. I enjoyed it.
we'll
You guys are very
see you tomorrow morning, Terry
Yes, you will.
Thanks, Terry.
Chamberlain. Have a great day, everybody. Remember, God loves you, and so do we. We'll see you bright and early on YouTube and WAZU FM 90.7. Have a great day, everybody.
I see that worried look upon your face. You've got your troubles, I've got mine. She's found somebody else to take your place. You've got your troubles, got mine. I too have lost my love today. All of my dreams have flown away. Now just like you I sit and wonder why. You got your troubles, I've got mine. You need some sympathy, well so do I.